It's upstairs on the dining room table.
Please come to Boston.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
Said no.
Please.
We are live.
No, we're not, dude.
You're right.
We are not?
We are live.
What?
Just like the Tom and
Yeah,
Jerry
we are,
screen to
seriously.
start it off.
I'm not kidding.
Start off the stream.
We're actually live. I'm not
The
kidding.
Tom and Jerry.
We're live.
We're live.
Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's. This is episodes 100 and 101 in Unfamiliar Road Forward. That was not the name of the episode, was it?
Not even close.
Not even. close.
Ancestral
Yes.
Keep going.
Imbalance.
Imbalance.
It's more impressive because you wrote it like 15 minutes ago and you don't remember.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
well,
I actually
listen,
had hope in you on that one.
that was bad.
Ancestral Imbalance.
This is going to be a big one because not only do we have 2 episodes to cover, they're 2 of the final 3 episodes of the season, but they were 2 episodes that contained a crazy amount of stuff. We're going to talk Yuga. We're going to talk Otis. We're going to talk Yumu. We're going to talk Yuhi. We're going to talk Udias. We're going to talk Mystery Girl. We're going to talk Monster Reborn. There was a crazy
We're gonna
amount of
talk
stuff.
Rovian.
She was in the
Rovian?
episode. And Roya.
What? I missed that.
The
You missed the
bar.
Mystery Girl?
Yuna and Yumu are talking. She's the bartender. Cooking something up.
I like the
Bartender.
bartender.
So we got a lot
Yeah, I know.
to go. And by the way, we do have, I want you guys to see it, so I'll show it in a second, but we have the whiteboard as well. The whiteboard is back. Very, very exciting. So at any point, somebody could go up and start cooking on the board. So
'em cook.
just
Let 'em
keep
cook.
that in mind. We'll let them cook. We'll let them cook. But guys, we have a full crew. Cal, Nick T, Pete, Dredge. How you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic, dude.
Doing pretty good, man.
Good.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
That's great to hear.
Good, good.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, dude. Of course. Hopefully, all you guys in chat watching along, whether you're live, whether you're watching, in VOD podcast form, hopefully you guys are doing well because we definitely have a lot to get to, a lot to cover. And before we get into the episodes, I do want to thank everybody who donated or super chatted 2 weeks ago in episode 99. Last week, of course, we did the After Dark. Huge thank you to Electric Kevin, Ice Aiden, Shark Messiah, Pick Rick, Gravity Hero, Elaine, Dark Emperor J, Crystal, Limestone, and the Fallen Star, and a special thank you to Angie and to Jamie Caslana, who both donated / super chatted very, very generous amounts of money. So
Hell
thank you
yeah.
both. Thank you to everybody
Yeah.
that donated and super chatted. Yeah. And I appreciate it greatly. Man, I don't even know where to start. Posted an episode review today. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. That was like 20 minutes long because it was
I
just
gotta
so
check
much.
that out. I didn't have time.
Yeah, it was 2 episodes, so it
Valid.
was. And they kind of, we're probably, just so you guys get an idea of the format of this episode, we're probably going to just talk as if it was like one long 45-minute episode.
Kinda, in a way, it
It
was.
felt like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we're going to take it all the way from the starting of creating Monster Reborn to a wormhole opening up in the galaxy that might go to Seven's World, might not.
Might go somewhere else
To all
for
of our
somebody.
duelists.
Don't think it'll cause any problem.
No, I'm sure it won't. I'm sure Kaiser will be
No.
able to hold it the whole duration of
Oh,
next week.
yeah.
To Yuga and Yuhi becoming Yumu and Udias. Yumu turning on our entire cast here. Not for, evil reasons, but for the reasons of empathy towards Yuga, who in a way is probably like her great grandson. There is that family tie in there. Felt it made sense, but I want to know what you guys thought of it. I mean, I loved these 2 episodes. But does any of you guys want to start?
I think you know where this is going.
Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. Well, I actually was hoping one of you guys would
If
kick
you
it
want,
off.
I mean, I can start if you would like me to.
You know, Cal should start.
Cal, why don't you start us off?
Yeah,
Cal, you kick us. You kick us.
All right.
You kick us.
Why is he kicking us?
Yeah, I didn't know
Thank
physical
you
contact.
I'm kicking us off.
Oh.
Exactly,
Get it?
dude.
Like the kickoff.
Harmonized there.
Yeah, that was good, guys. I really liked both episodes. I
Yeah.
thought they were very good. I was shocked how late into the first and to episode 100 that the duel started.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was good that way. It could actually drag into another episode and then extend throughout. Did not expect the character switching of the duel.
Nope.
Definitely.
No.
Honestly, just because I had no hope that Yumu was gonna have like a massive importance
Right.
in this. Well, 'cause she wasn't even dueling, so to me it was all right. She's on the sidelines again, but I think that kind of heel turn in a way, even though, like you said, it's not like it's for bad reason that she's switching to defend Yuga. I mean, she seemed like a completely different character.
Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
was like this not demonic, but like this like blank look and almost like horror style tone of voice where she's like, I said the duel's not over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's like that. Like that was a really
It was
cool
cold.
line. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so cold. So I thought that was really, really well done. And the whole idea of like,
Thank you.
I'm jumping around obviously, but like the whole idea of like Yuga not wanting Monster Reborn to be used, and then instead of like, I mean, he's getting ready to face it, and he escapes and is about to destroy the robot, and it throws a right hook at him,
Dude.
punches him across space.
That was
Almost
crazy.
He almost dies.
That
That's
was
what it
crazy.
looks like. Like
Yeah.
he's laying there not talking to Yumu. I mean, there's so many like twists and turns. It was wild. The dueling was good. The Seven Sphere magician was cool.
Okay.
I honestly thought
Makes
the
was already
Seven
going.
Sphere would have like a longer, usage, I guess.
Thank
Like he kind
you
of used Seven
for the
Sphere and then immediately
dono.
fused him, so he wasn't really there for long.
Well, I think his effect is he could literally just become back to Seven's Road.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was hoping for
okay.
a little
Well,
bit.
Yeah.
more.
his actual like effect is the opposite of Seven's Road, right? He takes your damage down 300, your attack
Yeah.
down 300 instead of raising his
Yeah,
own.
and then he just
And then
flipped it.
it's like, oh, and his other effect is he can become Seven's Road magician.
I was like,
So then it was like, oh, okay, that he's gone. So I mean, I would have liked to see more of that card just because I thought the design was sick,
I agree.
and I think it's better than the Seven's magician card. But I mean, overall, throughout both duels, I was hooked. I mean, it was really good. And like I said, the twists and turns I did not expect. I mean, the robot punching Yuga's ship, and then Yuga and Yumu switching spots, Udias coming in for Yuki, all of that. I mean, it was
Hey,
awesome.
gotta let 'em
And
cook.
I'll stick to not talking much Otis because I feel like that's going to be a big topic of
Yeah, no.
discussion after our general thoughts.
Sure.
So I'll pass it over to somebody else. I'll choose that person. Dredge, why don't you give us your thoughts?
ooh,
I like
didn't expect
Very teacher.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Of course, of course.
Yeah, it was 100 and 101 were extremely well executed, well written. Seeing Yumu again, I was kind of with Cal. Seeing Yumu again, it's almost like it was this fear that it wouldn't happen, but deep down I almost knew like you're not just gonna forget about Yumu completely. People who said, oh, she won't be in season 3, that she's gonna be gone, she's not on the poster. It's hard to have like what you'd argue the third protagonist. Right? I mean, realistically, you got Udias, then you got Yuhi. Obviously, I mean, really, it's been those two 1A characters. You could argue Yuhi's been better than Udias in the show. And again, Yumu season, the first arc or two. Okay, yeah, Yumu's pretty. We like Yumu. Yumu's good.
Yep.
So again, it was almost like we knew it was there and it was capable. Will they? I'm having a stroke.
You're good.
Were they willing to do it? And then they did. So. Shout out to Yumu. Very emotional in this episode. Fighting for what she believes, and even it's against her brother and Udias, and it's a hard choice. Is there a right answer? That's. I mean, you could argue there is. You could argue there isn't. We could do that and we probably will at some point argue that point as well. Who thinks right? Is Yumu and Yuga right, or is Udias and Yuhi right? The duel itself was cool. The Seven Sphere magician was awesome. I still like seeing Seven's Chariot. I like that
Seven's
Greek mythology thoughts, like the Romans, like that vibe in Yugioh was cool. And yeah, the robot throwing a fist. I kind of was that was like a jump out of my seat. Kind of Dylan kind of reacted on the watch along. That's where I watched. Was crazy. And a shout out to you. Yuga did great this episode too. Especially in 100. Yuga's great. Again, shout out to him. He's still a great character. Again, he's trying. I mean, you could argue he's Yuga being selfish. Like, there's so much we're gonna get into, but overall, really happy with 100 and 101, and I have no doubt 102 will hit the nail right in the head and be just as good, if not better, than 100 and 101.
Yeah. Nixie, your thoughts on the 2 episodes?
I loved both of them a lot. I feel like we're getting into some really like weird territory here.
Very
and
weird.
I'm really liking it because we're at like
the dono.
sort of like a split point here where like a lot of things could and are happening that could have like a lot of like implications that could ruin the timeline. I mean, we've talked about the timeline, again and again, and,
Yeah.
and potential parallel timelines where like different, and now things are starting to get really wacky, and I like that. It makes me think. It makes us theorize. I mean, that's how we get, all the crazy crack theories that we get
do.
there.
Oh yeah.
But like, just I think it paints a really interesting picture of Yuga, because like I don't see it at first. Obviously, like you're thinking like, what the hell, Yuga? But like more and more, it's like he's kind of like this not sympathetic villain in a sense, but like almost like you can see where he's coming from with this. Like, regardless of what he does, is going to have extreme implications of the future. So like, the only thing he can do is like try to make the best future that he can. And I think that's what he thinks he's doing in this is like, well, if Rush Duels is to remain in the hands of the kids, like this is how it has to happen, which I like, funny enough, is sort of mirroring the sentiments of early Otis.
100%. 100%.
Like, and not just like subtly, like very obviously.
Yes.
Mirroring his like same sentiments. So it's like, I think that's where we get this like sort of, we've talked about it, the Yuga is Otis thing, but like whether it is or isn't him, it's somehow obviously influenced his perspective in some way.
Yeah. He even said he was going to become Otis.
Exactly.
At the end of 100.
Like,
yeah.
And still though, to this like moment, what exactly did he mean by that? In
Right.
terms of become Otis, is Otis a title? Does he foresee himself literally and physically becoming Otis by his actions, or is it like a symbolic thing? So, because I think the answer to that question very much lies in who Otis actually is and like what we consider that to be. Because it very well could just be a title or something symbolic. I don't know.
Well, Otis tried to destroy the Moon server at the end of the show,
Which
and
now
Yuga
is started.
Yuga was en route to destroy the server when he said, "I will become Otis."
Right.
So I took it as in that moment, Yuga feels he needs to do what Otis did
right, so
in
it's a
Sevens.
symbolic thing
That's
rather
how
than
I
a
took
physical
it.
thing. Yeah.
Right. That's how I took it.
Which I
Yeah.
agree, but it's like it still like leaves that question of who Otis actually is. Because
Absolutely.
That's a question we've been asking for now like 200 episodes.
Yeah. From the very first episode of
Sevens.
before Sevens even started, the jokes and gag theories, I even did a video on the channel, was that is Otis somehow like a reincarnation of Seto Kaiba because he plays a Blue Eyes, and Blue Eyes is a rare
I thought we were
monster,
just calling
Seto
him-
backwards.
We were calling him
The hologram man.
The
the hologram man, right, before we knew his name, yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
this character is pivotal in the story.
Right.
100%.
Yep.
So, and I think, yes, we have a symbolic version of him, and that's what Yuga is saying, but like, could that lead to one of the Otos or whoever being the physical representation of Otis? And that's where like we're kind of like, that's the direction I feel like we're headed towards getting that answer.
Yeah.
I think if I can piggyback that before
Yeah.
they give their thoughts, just touching on the Otis point, like Yumu also says that she's going to become Otis.
Right.
So to me, I think that automatically kind of points that like this Otis is more of a vision and like an action that they want to do. So almost like you said, like it's
Otis is the idea.
Yeah, Otis is the idea, like the vision rather than the actual person, because in this case, basically they're trying to destroy Monster Reborn, right?
Yeah,
Like that's the ultimate goal of their team, and whether it's destroying the server and destroying Monster Reborn altogether, it's like
A card that Otis made, mind you,
made, yeah.
in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens.
Made in Sevens.
Correct.
But because of what's happened in this timeline,
It was
again,
made,
yeah.
just like
Well, and it
Rush
wasn't
Duels
it wasn't
earlier.
used for good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens.
No,
I mean,
it
it was a
wasn't,
card
no.
of
And now it seems like they've created something that they're not even aware of the
Correct.
power of.
Yeah, they don't
because
know what it
they're
can
like,
do.
oh, this is used for good. It's going to revive the Vulgarians, but it's like there's some power here that the Otos are experiencing in a pretty negative way.
especially like their like memories, their
Exactly.
thoughts and
It's
stuff.
it's all
crazy.
just really we're like tail spinning here, and I'm really here for it. The duel was like
Yeah.
great, even though it kind of switched gears, but like in terms of duelists, but like just all the questions, and it's developed some theories of my own because of where we physically are in front
Yep.
of the
Yep.
good things going into season 3, and we can talk more about theories and Otis and
we will.
and Yumu and whomever
Yeah.
leading into season 3. But as far as my general thoughts, like that's
Yeah.
I'm really high on what's going on.
No, me too. I'm probably as high as I've been on the show, and there's been a lot of points in the show I've been very high on. But there's so much to talk about. Yumu's character potentially going in a direction that is character saving, that is character altering, which is great and fantastic. And then all the Otis stuff. We haven't even started to speak. I mean, Pete's still got to give his general thoughts on the ideological clash between reviving the Vulgarians and keeping the Vulgarians dead in order to stop Monster Reborn from going off. And that in of itself is I think a really good debate where it's like,
that's what I'm saying. It's
what side is right or wrong?
Problem.
Exactly. You're 100% right.
But if that's the case, has he failed already? Because he did use Monster Reborn.
Correct. Now, he didn't use it on the level of the server across the world, but he has used it, and Yumu even said she obtained all of Yuga's memories because of it.
Yeah.
That's also crazy. So, I mean, Pete, what were your thoughts on these last 2 episodes?
Let Yuga cook.
Let Yuga cook.
Are you really surprised he agreed? That makes so much
It's not just because I want to be on brand. It's because this... You can argue these merits, and I get where our group is coming from, but the future's at stake. Everything's at stake. And yes, Yuga is not, as we know, the best explainer of things going on in situations, especially dire situations.
Yep.
But this is for a reason. He's the one that caused this whole ripple in time for rush tools to exist, for everything to exist in a time that it's not supposed to, including now his actions have caused them to lead up and discover Quaidul's kind of findings about Monster Reborn. He knows what's at stake. You see how powerful, at least the Odos, so how powerful Monster Reborn can actually be. It's a dangerous weapon. We saw Goha Yuga use it in 7s. It's not meant to be there, and I fully support him. And also, too, I don't mean to be mean, but there's no aliens in the future, and the Vulgarians, they're not real. They're not. And, it's not worth ripping the entire timeline apart. Even Yugioh, you can see he seemed okay with Yuga, that they were going to be enemies with the situation. And he even knew that he was probably going to have an ultimate demise. That was kind of hinted to. So
in this episode, it was hinted to in that conversation.
Yeah.
Too.
If there's an understanding. The leader of the Vulgarian forces, right? Someone that Udias had much admiration and love for and respect for. If he's okay with it, I'm okay with it, coupled with trusting Yuga that this is the right thing to do. Now, is it going to go that way? Probably not, because Yuga's not the main character of the show. It's Udias and the twins, right? So we know they're probably going to win and go in their favor. But for me, from an ideological standpoint, Yuga's right. This has been screwed up enough. You don't understand. You're dealing with forces outside of your control. Yeah. There's a hole in space-time. This is not the place to go, and they let their emotions take control of the situation more than researching, okay, what even is this card, and what does
agree
it
with
really
that.
do?
Shoddy,
and are there side effects? What if they brought all the Vulgarians back and they're not who they used to be? You have no idea what this can unleash on the galaxy, and I think this is when you have incredible loss that you do actions like this, and I think Yuga is trying to prevent all that stuff. So I'm fully supporting it.
And it's kind of weird, right? Because in him trying to prevent it, Yumu had the realization where if he prevents this, that won't be him at the end of 92. And I also wonder, I kind of got the feeling that was also Yuga's inner thoughts as he was doing it, because remember, Yumu said that she obtained kind of his memories and experiences. I wonder if Yumu, at the same time of Yuga realizing, hey, if I do this and destroy this server, I'm not going back to the 7's timeline. And that's what ended up causing Yumu to really just feel empathetic and take his side. I'm kind of agreeing with you on it.
Wow.
I'm
with you too.
I just think that the way Asaka and everyone in Goha,
there should have been precautions.
They rushed to it.
We're doing this? Okay.
They rushed
What
man.
are the pros and cons of this situation?
Right.
And let's really understand. Quaidul, as they saw, he was an evil person.
Right.
Right? Like, yes, you could be sympathetic in some ways, but for the most part, he was not a good
And
person.
he was very powerful.
Right?
Why didn't he create the card?
Right.
And Yumu even brought that up and knew he was like, it was the machinery.
Yeah, whatever. He didn't.
I don't know.
He didn't have.
time.
He didn't have the
Programming,
time
yeah.
and the machinery.
That
this guy's
felt like
been alive
season
for
one.
thousands of years,
Yes.
seemingly.
That felt like the season 1 twins where Yumu actually realizes
Yeah.
something smart and
It
he
just,
brushes it off.
Yeah.
I'm
So
more
that was
on
good.
board, obviously, like I said, with Yuga, but I'm also on board with like, hey, if we want to do this, let's just do it right.
Well, that's it. Because I don't want the Vulgarians to die.
Idea. No, and this
You
was
know?
this was a bad
What?
idea. It
Right.
was.
Agreed.
Yeah, and the look.
No, I don't want the Vulgarians to die, especially Udias. I love Udias.
Yeah, of course.
I
think he's 100% fine. I don't think
too.
he's killable unless it's like
Unkillable.
the regular way. Like
Yeah.
in the terms of fading away, like everybody else did, he can't.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him, he can't fade away like that.
well,
Yeah,
I don't think he can.
No, I kind of
no, no, because I'll.
Well, I have a feeling I know where you're going with it, but that's a different force of something happening. That's not I'm meaning in the way that no one's interfering or coming down to him or anything else.
Right.
It's like he's not going to disappear in the way that they disappear because something changed in his DNA that's not going to happen.
Correct.
It would have to be a way more powerful situation to
Correct.
eliminate him, basically.
May I bring everybody to the whiteboard real
Yes,
quick?
please.
All right.
Boy.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially entered the Otis-verse.
Oh, Lord.
Here we
I am convinced that there is not one, but there are multiple Otises in this universe.
Odai, if you will.
Odai. There are Odis running around. Yuga equals Otis. Believe it or not, I don't think so. Yumu equals Otis. Believe it or not, even though the red herrings are on the wall with her, I don't think so. I do not believe Yumu is Otis either.
I agree with that.
I want you to look on the right side of the board.
Looking.
Seven's episode 1. What did Otis help do? He helped install rush duels, and he was adamant about giving rush duels back to the children. By the end of the show, what did Otis want to do? He wanted to destroy the same rush duels that he was imminent in helping create. In my opinion, and what I am theorizing, is that Otis, there are 2 different Otises that we saw throughout Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s. The one in the beginning, who was very adamant in helping install, and the reason his motives switched so 180, and we never got an explanation for it throughout that show, and it's not like that show went on for 5-10 years, and it's like, he had time to change. That was a short show for all intents and purposes. Probably happened over the course of a few months. I believe that at some point behind the scenes in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, a different Otis came into the timeline, took out the one we saw at the beginning, and then masqueraded
I kind of
as the one at the end.
Do you think
like
they
it.
go that deep?
I think they will. Because to me, here's the other thing. To me, Otis now, whether you like it or not, he is an integral part, one of the most important parts of this storyline.
100%.
I mean, think about it. Season 1, how did it end? It ended with Yugioh and Udias, but the creator, who we assumed was Otis, right? Same voice actor. We're like, oh, this is Otis just pretending to be a god. And it ended up being his Earth Damar. It wasn't actually him. Now, Season 2, another big point in the show, Otis is everywhere. You can't lose him. The Yuga thinks he's Otis. Yumu thinks she's Otis. You can't lose him. So what are we missing? What are we missing? We're missing a piece. You can see that on the bottom left. We're missing a piece that could be playing a big role. That piece, in my opinion, is Udias. I think in some way, shape, or form, Udias was the Otis at the start of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, helped install rush duels with the ultimate goal of getting Yuga to go back with Monster Reborn and a chance to save all the Vulgarians that ended up dying outside of him.
But then how would that mix in continuity with Quaidul's plans, which were also at the beginning of the show?
Right. Well, that's...
So Udias made Quaidul and then just pretended the whole time that he didn't know who he was?
Well, the creator...
is a separate entity.
Is a separate entity, correct.
I think you get. I like it, but I think
It does.
It's
tough.
That gets a little
tough.
messy.
Yeah.
And I think what they were going for, to Cal's point in here, is it. I think at one point Otis was a person, right? That was a person. The Earth Damar split up. I think what Otis was died, and I think the Earth Damar is obviously the creator.
Yeah.
And I think Otis now in our Go Rush universe, it's a title now. It's a title that's meant to be there to I guess Yuga's adopting it in the sense to protect the game from adults and keep it in the hands of children.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This is a mantra
I agree with that.
you take up, and that's why Yumu could take it up in the same way that Yuga took it up. And maybe, who knows, maybe Udias will take it up.
Yeah.
I mean, you have no idea where it'll
I
go.
mean, the question is, there still was an Otis in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s that was very vital in getting Yuga back into the Go Rush timeline. So who was that character?
I don't.
Was that Yuga? Was that Yumu?
I don't think this was the intention. I'm still stuck by that.
Okay.
I think Otis wanted something to happen in his favor in a victory in 7s. He lost.
Yeah.
And then just by kind of just nature, like he didn't plan this.
Okay.
He split up, he died, his Earth Damar became the creator, and he's like, second opportunity to kind of cook a little bit.
See,
like, I that's what I think. Like,
that's
I don't
fair.
think
That's fair.
he had this long-running kind of, at the end of this 200-episode plan.
Yeah.
I think he adjusted on the fly once he lost. He's like, I'm going to get them back.
Yeah.
This is how I'm going to do it. And he played the long game.
That could be it. I disagree. I do think that was part of his plans.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Throughout the entire show. And I think for that reason, it would make sense if Udias was involved in that. To give his race a shot at life again.
The writing would have to be. I'm not saying they couldn't do it. I'm just saying it would have to be extremely top tier.
It would.
Like,
it would.
You would have to.
Airtight.
It
you
would.
would have to. Yeah, airtight is a great word to use because you would have to constantly have multiple people checking the continuity to make sure it actually works.
Yeah, it'd be tricky.
It'd be really hard.
It'd be tricky, but I think we're headed, Udias or not, I think we're headed into a weird continuity state with this show.
For sure.
I mean, with these shows. I really do. Because, like, to me, I still do believe that there are multiple Otises, and those are kind of two different theories. The Otis at the beginning of 7s is different than the one at the end, which I believe, especially now because the timelines have been so messy and weird. And Udias being involved in being Otis, those are two different theories. But listen, from the very beginning of Go Rush, I've been one of the only people that have believed in the Otis storyline and felt like there was a way to make it compelling, to make it worthwhile, and I was always hopeful that they would, and I'm very happy that we are getting a storyline that I think a lot of people are, whether you hated him in 7s or not, and I'll admit he was terrible in that show, but like we are now getting to a point where it is super fascinating because our main protagonist of 7s could be him.
Yeah.
Yumu, our main girl of Go Rush, could have been him in 7s. Or it could be some other unknown person. But I think what we're getting at here, and what I'm ultimately getting at, Otis, we're not going to know who Otis is until he shows up in Go Rush, which I think he will in Season 3, and takes the mask off.
Yeah, but it'll technically be the creator, right? Not Otis.
No, I still think Otis is alive.
So then where is the creator dead?
The creator, I think, is dead. I think he was absorbed with Quaiduel. The creator was Otis's Earth Damar. Much like Yuhi and Damamu exist, I think they both can exist.
So to piggyback question, which Otis are we going to see in Season 3? You just said there's multiple.
Correct.
Which
I
one?
It would
don't
be
know.
the original, right? Because if he didn't die in the end of 92, it's the original.
I think it would. No, I think it
Is
would.
there one in particular you think it's going to be?
Well, I don't know. I don't think Yumu or Yuga are Otis.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think.
But Otis. Now, is the idea of Otis going to show up or Otis himself?
No, Otis himself is going to show
Which
up.
one? There's multiple.
Theoretically, yes. But we won't know that until Otis shows up and says, yeah, I eliminated the original Otis. I mean, listen, again, that's just a theory. You can remove the multiple Otises regardless. Otis is going to show up. I felt pretty good about that the entire show. Otis is going to show up.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I think it's more the creator. But yeah, get to the donation.
Yeah. Maddie, thank you for the $100 super chat. Thank you so much, Maddie. I appreciate you, dude. This is wild, but I'm going to let you cook, Dale. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for the insanely generous
Maddie.
super chat. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, what do you think, Nick T?
Yeah.
He
wants to agree with you.
I do want to agree with you.
Do you really agree
because
with this guy?
I don't know. The intention is different, right? There seems to be a different desire, and I think we always criticized Otis in 7s because of how unclear his intentions were.
Correct.
And how quickly they seemed to change. Because for a while he was this sort of Deus Ex Machina. He was appearing in order to keep Rush duels like on track, keeping in the hands of the kids, get them installed and keeping them in the hands of children.
Helped out our team when Maximums were installed.
Times.
Yeah.
and then tries to kill children.
Correct.
For the greater good, I probably didn't. It didn't seem like it. Like he seemed like off the rails in the last part of our show with like almost no clear, like objective,
Right.
other than to harm.
Yeah.
So I get the sense that those maybe could be two different people, especially when you take into consideration whether it's, it's Otis being a mantle, a title, as opposed to a person, where we could have that could be multiple Otises over time. It could have been a different Otis every time. That could have been different people if that's a different title.
Yeah.
Every time he shows up.
Right.
Who knows?
And it's such an easy thing to fake. It's a
Yeah.
machine voice, and it's an outfit. It's a costume. We never see what he looks
never
like.
see what he looks
So
like.
it could be multiple people. Yeah.
Can I say one thing for you? George?
Absolutely.
No, I don't say anything. I'm just laughing.
I think in the original, I know we're going to talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
But I think in the original timeline, in my mind, this is the way I took it. I think it's very clear that the person that came down in the original timeline from the ship at the end of Sevens, Yuga, was now Otis. I think that
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
because we've
yeah.
seen the progression of where that was supposed to go. Now that has changed. That's not going to be the case anymore. If he gets back home, which I believe he will at some point,
It's not going to be that.
that won't be the case. It'll be a good ending. But I think in the original timeline, he was Otis. That's what happened,
I agree with that.
and it
I
became a
very
full kind of
much agree with
paradox
that.
circle.
I think we said that, like theorized that from the moment he
We did.
came down in the sky.
We did.
And I thoroughly believed it up until the moment, actually up until recently, really, that could still be the case. Like when Yuga as a cat was witnessing this happen, he's like, yeah, that's me in there. It's like, yeah, it's him as Otis in there. But
Right.
now things are changing. Since like pretty recently, things have happened that have permanently altered the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And will continue to permanently alter the timeline.
Well, and I think there's a chance that by the end of 102, I mean, there's characters that might get sucked into this vortex.
100%.
Now, granted, we don't know if this vortex leads to the Sevens world. I don't think that was ever stated, right?
It wasn't.
say that.
and
They just said it was
that was the place in the time space where that event had occurred.
Correct.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's 1-to-1.
Yeah. So something's going to go into that, or something's going to come
Well,
out of
I
that.
actually have a theory regarding it.
Sure,
I might have to
yeah.
go to could I go to the board and start?
Yeah. Go to the board.
Start drawing.
I don't know where the eraser is, so I'm going to erase it with my hand.
No, it's,
All right.
it's probably over there somewhere. The eraser.
I think there's paper towels under Dylan's
Yeah, Nick
desk.
T. You see the fire extinguisher thing? Right to the right of that. Isn't that an eraser? Oh, yeah. Yep. I saw it.
And
Okay.
there's
I
a s- and
remember
there's a
stacking
spray
those
there,
over
too.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know if this. No, not that spray. I think that's like cleaning spray for the board.
All right,
so
Nick.
it might
Nick
work, yeah.
Nick
Let
T's
Cal
gonna
cook.
Nick T's gonna start
cook.
cooking on the board. Yeah. So he said let Cal cook. I
Because
thought
he,
might-
Okay.
he knew what to do with the supplies.
Yeah.
yeah.
What's your question here
No, I mean what are your thoughts
on Otis in general?
on Otis?
Any theories? What you got, man?
So, I actually do like your theory of that it's a different Otis, like towards the end of the show than from the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I also think that weirdly, I guess you can, unless they were trying to, I mean, if they were foreshadowing this from all the way at the beginning of Sevens, it'd be kind of crazy, but like that calling him the hologram man was because there was multiple of him. Like that's why they didn't give him a name initially.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was able to kind of transport his image and through the relic. That way he didn't have to physically be everywhere.
Right.
So like when he's physically with you, it's him. But like there's times where maybe he could just physically act through the relic as a hologram, but like or a copy of himself, because clearly the relic can just spit out Vulgarians and create a society and bring those Vulgarians back to life. Why can't they just make a couple copies of Otis and have him all different ones doing the dirty work at the same time?
Yeah. I mean there was that also scene when he dueled Roman, Gakuto, and Luke, where he split into 3 versions. Now,
Yeah.
granted, that was just kind of his power. He had the
Yeah.
power to be anywhere and kind of do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things that make his character, especially now with 2 of our main characters in the series claiming to be him or claiming to want to be him.
They're going to become him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Whether or because that's not what I got from Yuga saying it. And Yumu, I feel like she doesn't know. Like, in what way does Yumu have the knowledge that she becomes Otis? That's why.
just the memories that flooded in when Monster Reborn happened.
True. I mean, I guess that could be the argument. Yeah, but I mean,
I think she took up more of the mantra of Yuga's fight, and I think Yuga did mean it literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whether it's a title or not, of like, I'm going to do the same thing he did
Yeah.
because
Right.
I have to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I agree with
and
that.
I know everyone's going to hate me, and
Yeah.
I don't even want that to be the case, but I have to do
I have
this.
to be Otis in this case. Yeah.
And I think the idea of Otis, again, even if you don't want to say it's the actual person, it's the idea of being kind of on your own and everyone is your enemy. Because Otis didn't have an ally. He was just this guy by himself floating through basically the Sevens universe, right?
Yeah.
Showing up when he wanted to, giving them things if he wanted to help them, not helping them when he didn't want to help them. Like, it was one of those things where, like, after he says, I'm going to be everybody's enemy, like, I'm going to be your enemy from here on out, and then it switches to him saying, I'm going to be Otis. Like, to me, that was like a parallel of, I'm going to be Otis in the sense that now your crew is going to be against me for the remainder of what I need to do here.
Yeah, and I also don't take it lightly. I think Yuga has expressed multiple times from
Hates him.
Sevens to this. He despises
Yeah.
Otis.
Yeah.
And everything he stood for and what he was. So for him to go this far to even invoke similar actions and use his name saying, I am him, that's a huge step for Yuga in a way of like, he's swallowing, I don't want to say pride's the right word, but he is putting aside his personal beliefs and differences with what he thought Otis was, because this is that important. There's that much at stake of what this card can bring into this universe for now and for his future.
Yeah.
And that shouldn't be taken lightly of the decision that he made, because I don't think that was just like a flip thing. Like, that was a big deal that he did that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, there's got to be within Yuga probably some self-hatred for feeling like he had to get to that point and announcing it. And I mean, listen, we're obviously, we got a lot to get through here, a lot of theories. Nick T's got a great theory for us. Now, this pertains more to the season 3 poster, which we haven't even gotten into that and how these characters are going to fit into it.
It's coming soon.
It's coming soon, probably in 2 episodes, which is crazy.
Oh, a year?
Before you
So-
click over, though,
Of course.
Yeah.
I want to preface.
Preface.
And then you can click over at the time, you know? like-
Yes.
So in the events, and they've addressed this right here in this episode, we have a tear in the space-time.
Yep.
Why is that there? Because they're dueling right near the area in Sevens where we had the clash between Yuga and Otis.
Correct.
Which they went through some kind of wormhole or hyperspace or whatever, ended up in this timeline.
Yep.
With Yuga being Yuga and Otis being the creator, or his Earthamar being the creator. We're at a tipping point here at the precipice of a tear in space-time. And then you can click over.
Of course.
Where this is leading us
This
to
guy's a
a
pro.
very similar point where if Otis went through a tear in the space-time and his Earthamar became the creator, then in this case does Yumu, who is acting in Yuga's place, who is sort of acting as a proxy to Otis, now go through the space-time and become the character we see on that poster.
Interesting.
And at the bottom of his statement, if the creator is Otis's Earthamar, then season 3 character is Yumu's Earthamar.
Which is so fascinating
Okay.
to me there, Nick T, because you, from the very, very beginning,
Yeah, he was. Nick T was the first one.
were really the only one here
He was the
that were
original.
adamant that in
I
the
liked
top
it.
left,
I
that
mean,
girl on the poster was Yumu.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
that's why I say if, because that statement is contingent on the fact that because again, Otis is a mantle or a title, as we've been discussing.
of course, yeah.
Is the creator Otis's Earthamar, or is that the physical manifestation of Otis?
Right.
Because if that's the case, then this would be the physical actually Yumu.
Yeah.
So I think that right there is the for me the determination.
Yeah.
If the creator is Otis, then that character is Yumu. If the creator is Otis's Earthamar, then that character is Yumu's Earthamar.
Carryover. Okay.
Fascinating. Dredge, what are your thoughts on that one?
It's a lot to process. It's interesting.
There's a lot of theories.
I I was one of the first to agree with Nick too when he pointed out. I think everyone else was kind of like, nah, it's not.
Doing it.
It's a
And I
must.
kept zooming
And then
in.
we literally put that in like I don't know how many we probably had like millions of pixels we were looking at. Like we zoomed in and stuff. But I'm in full agreement that is Yumu in the season 3 poster. I've been convinced. Nick T. I gotta give all the credit to Nick T.
Oh,
Nick,
stop.
no, truthfully, man, you analyze, you're zooming, you're thumbing. So definitely love it. I think it's 100% Yumu. But the rest of it, oh my god, it's just that's funny.
It is a stretch, but
No,
I feel
it's
like
not
we're
impossible
at the
by
same
no
point.
means.
Like I think just being physically where we are, where that happened,
and the spin distort
Yeah,
the and it's
the
they
distortion.
severe
Yeah.
distortion space time. I think the problem is like I'm just someone who like when I get hit with information I want to analyze it. So like I'm trying to think of my own idea, but like I've heard Dill's idea.
It's a
you
lot
know,
of ideas,
Pete's had
yeah.
some great ideas. Cal, Nick. Now we got this. So I'm just processing stuff. So it's hard for me to say, hey, it's a great idea and I like it. I'm just trying to take everything because this is the beauty of what 100 and 101 did. By doing this, we could sit here for no doubt in my mind 12 hours and talk and theorize.
I agree with
That's
you.
how crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. And that's what this podcast is for, is to theorize of what's coming next, based on the episodes. And again, these 2 episodes did such an incredible job. That's why these theories that, maybe a week ago would have been in like, you're crazy, Dill's crazy, Pete's crazy, Cal's crazy.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's
I'm
2
crazy.
episodes in and now boom, it's like the door is open. I'm pretty sure the writers are watching right now. Which one do they think? So we do the exact opposite. They like 4 out. Like, all right, nope, not they got that one right. Okay, we're not doing that. So at this point, I just love sitting here and hearing everyone's process because it's really exciting.
Can I make a point bringing up somebody's comment?
Of course.
I was thinking this exact thing. I was going to bring this up later at some point, but Nick Schoner was writing about how he now believes that the other people on this season 3 poster are the ancestors of the Goha siblings.
I agree.
The other ones.
100%.
Oh,
And
100%.
I think there's merit behind that, and this is my thinking, right? Distinctly with Monster Reborn in this episode, where they're showing kind of the past memories are merging together. One of the main things that showed multiple times more than any other past thing is the Goha siblings. They're all shown multiple times, especially obviously Goha Yuga because he had connection to Monster Reborn.
Correct.
I don't think that's by accident. I don't think it's by accident that Goha Yuna in the show has been so close or has felt this kinship or connection or love or whatever you want to call it with Yuga. I think those 2 quote-unquote families are very heavily related into what is going on here. And I think this episode, in my mind, I was starting to have those thoughts going into 100. And then now in these last 2 episodes, I'm like, yeah, I feel like they are really diving into this is not on purpose. I mean, by accident. This is a purposeful thing that these 2 families in the Gohas and the Otos, there is history here, and they also both are part of maybe the solution or the problem of fixing this space-time. And I very much feel that way. And so when I saw that comment, I was like, yeah, that's how I feel too.
Another a big theory that I've seen, I'm not signing off on this theory, is that the 4 characters on the right are the important Vulgarians that have died that somehow got revived
And I
with
like
new
that theory.
memories. Dinhwa would be the short girl. Yugioh would be the one right to the right of her, has the same hair scheme. Where I kind of fall out of love with the theory is Kwaidul and Muda. Somebody very gracefully commented 2 nights ago, there's no way they'd make Muda look that cool, which I agree with. I can't see. It also just doesn't look like Kwaidul or Muda. I get Dinhwa and Yugioh and those middle characters on the right.
But that's kind of where it ends.
But that's where it ends for
I'm
me.
also-
But that's the theory I've seen a lot.
I'm cool with your original theory. It's not those people that we used to know. It's ones that were imprisoned or dead before.
Right.
I'm
Really
also cool
wicked.
with that theory.
Yeah, wicked
Vulgarians.
Vulgarians. Yeah.
Maybe the first Vulgarians right after Kwaidul, right?
Right.
He was the first one. Maybe these were the failed prototypes. Maybe Kwaidul was the first one that worked.
Yeah.
And then the creator was like, these other ones way too dangerous.
Yeah.
Getting
Oh,
rid of them.
I would love that. Yeah, that's something that I've
no
thought.
control of them.
Yeah.
So if they come back, now they're the villains because now there's 4 or 5 uncontrollable
Right.
Vulgarians
I can see
out
that.
there.
I would like that story.
Yeah. There's got to be a negative consequence
for them
to
rushing
using
into this.
Monster Reborn. Because we have to imagine the season, at least in my mind, and we'll talk more about 102, But this season, in my mind, is going to end with Monster Reborn activating.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
100%.
Fully
that's what I
activated.
believe.
Well, I
Yeah, fully
think
activating.
it kind of already started, right?
With the moon.
activization
And
of
in
it.
the game
terms of-
as well.
Yeah.
Also, the
Yeah.
Rush Duel robot is sentient.
no, I think they maybe gave it the ability to punch.
Okay, maybe like a defense, like firewall.
You didn't take it that, yeah, like they seemed a little shocked. Like I didn't
I
take
don't
it
know.
as like Asuka was just like, yeah, punch him. Like it seemed like they were like, whoa,
They
like
didn't-
what's
they
going
didn't
on
show
there?
Phaser,
Okay,
though.
well,
He
maybe
did
it is like an automatic like function of the robot, but
But you can know that he made it. So like you don't think somebody got
quite.
Well, this was one that they made.
They made it to the specifications detailed in the
right?
small robot.
They could have made it.
So you think that Kwai-Duel built that in? I feel
Yeah,
like
I
there's
think so.
more
or the
than
or the or the
ACI.
robot is like sentient.
Or it could be too. But I'm saying I don't
I
don't think that
I don't
just-
know. I don't know,
I
dude. He
genuinely-
reacted to Yuga and he punched him in the face.
I think it would be
I feel like-
He
more
didn't punch Yuga in the face,
somebody
he punched a cannon.
somebody
that was
did that
gonna
on
blow him
purpose
up.
because they want this
Yeah.
chaos to happen. Whether it is, I don't know if I would feel Kwai-Duel. The creator and Otis would make more sense in
Yeah.
that case. So that's not something to skip over either. Like that didn't
Yeah,
just
that-
happen.
yeah,
'Cause
I-
especially the reactions were not like, well, thank God we built that in.
I mean, that
Yeah.
took
No,
Yuga out of the duel.
I feel like it was a defense, in my opinion, a defense mechanism that was automatically built in, but they didn't realize that because they were just building it. If you're just following instructions, you don't necessarily
you
know,
don't know what
all
it does.
Yeah.
all the
Yeah, it
capabilities
just
until it's happening.
Yeah.
I will say this. We learned, I'll go back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains real quick. We learned Lightning was responsible for a lot of the things that happened in Vrains.
He was cooking.
That's where the Blame Lightning stuff came from. Do not be surprised if somehow one of these characters was responsible for helping that robot, stopping Yuga, punching Yuga, taking him out of the duel so that Monster Reborn could go off and have adverse effects. It would not shock me if we learned that about these characters
It's London.
in a few episodes. Oh, my God. It's London, Kirishima. What a horrible plot twist that would be.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Hey, he said it was before.
Yeah,
way
he
back
has.
when. In
I
what
still
arc
can't
2?
believe he was relevant for a hot minute.
Yeah, he was relevant.
A little
Well,
bit.
Listen, we have to talk about Yumu. We haven't talked about her.
Talk
We
about
kind
it.
of went right into the theories. What?
Yeah.
Talk about her.
I mean, thank the freaking Lord
Thank the freaking.
they went this direction with her. I think we all felt it.
Yeah.
I think we all said it a couple of weeks ago.
Against that.
They have to take her in a direction where she is the girl on the poster or where she is going up against our characters in some way.
She makes
that,
an impact.
That does not have to do with her getting brainwashed or mind controlled. She's got to come to that, realization herself. And I think her best moment of the show, I've said it many times, episode 62, when they went back into the
They
Sevens world.
purposely call back to that.
Her speech. I've probably said it like 15 times since that episode. Her speech to Yuga was one of the best moments for her character.
Yeah.
Humanizing, showed how empathetic she is.
I thought of you when I was watching it.
It was great.
And I was just like, what a great writing.
Yeah.
And almost 40 episodes later, you make that point even more relevant
Right.
than it was because that's like, she says that was her first like connection of like, man, Yuga, like,
She was like, the seeds were
he's
planted in
going,
my mind.
Yeah. and he's going through it. Like, he's alone.
Yeah.
Like, and she's
I got
probably been
chills.
thinking about that and he disappeared and
Yeah.
all that of like, this poor guy has nothing.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why she was like, I'm going to help him.
Yeah. And he's family.
Yeah.
That's the other element,
Yeah,
too.
I mean, like, that's your God knows how many
It
great,
made so much
grandson.
sense. It made so much sense to me. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel convoluted. It made so much sense. I felt like, as she said, the seeds were planted long ago. They were planted
They really
in
were.
episode 62. So her making that change to go to Yuga's side, which wasn't certainly not easy for her, going against her brother, going against Udias and all the Vulgarians, what a great decision for her character. And I'm so excited to see what happens to her in season 3 and where she goes. But as of now, she is fighting against everyone that she's journeyed with. And honestly, like this season up until this point, I've said it many times, was horrific for her. I really did.
Agreed.
A month ago, I said I think she's in conversation for maybe one of the worst girl leads in Yu-Gi-Oh, which a lot of people thought was crazy.
I still think you're crazy for that.
That's fine. I stand by that
know.
comment. But as you
Still
get
agree.
new information, opinions change. I think that's the beauty of life.
Okay, she's bad.
Opinions should change. And Yumu now, man, I love the direction they went with her. I think this is potentially a character saving decision. And she has a real chance now depending on how it is executed, of course, to be that strong girl character that I felt she could have been in the first 20, 25 episodes of the show. Loved it.
And she also, in my mind, has now stepped fully above Ron. So
Wow.
a
Big
first
moment.
step,
Big
big
applause.
Big
Yeah.
first step.
Wow.
There we go.
You've heard it here first. She is ahead of Ron.
So, but that I'm saying that like I'm saying that like half as a joke because in all legitimacy, like that's how bad it was getting.
Pete's just grateful we're not going to get into a 30-minute debate about it again.
No,
Hey, I could always use a nap.
but legitimately, like it was getting that bad that I was able to argue the point. Not necessarily that I won the point or that I was right, but I was able to have a somewhat coherent argument about Ron versus Yumu. I don't think that will be a case anymore.
That in itself is a good point.
Especially with direction it looks like it's going. Even if she isn't a long-standing like opposition of the group, right? But she at least has now come out and like done something herself. Like she went out and supported Yuga on her own. She wasn't like, "Oh yeah, Yuhi, let's do this together," or like it was something with Udias or something. Like it was her on her own making that decision to oppose everybody that she's helped and been a part of the team the entire time.
Yeah,
which I think, like you said, is character changing. It makes an impact, which she has not had this season at all.
Yeah. Well, and she's a history maker. She is a history maker. I mean, she is going to probably have the most girl wins in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! She only needs 1 or 2 more.
Yeah.
And she is the first girl character to be involved in the season-ending duel of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime.
That's
Really?
crazy.
The first girl character to be involved in a season-ending
She's a
duel.
history maker.
So she's a history
baking.
maker.
She's a baker. She's
Yeah.
cooking out here.
Yeah.
She's
So
a taker.
Yeah.
She's about to take this dub.
yeah.
Hey,
So honestly,
I
love
want
it.
to say this though.
Yeah.
One thing that does worry about me about my theory
Yeah.
is that does that potentially make the odds of Yumu crossing that win threshold like go way down?
She only needs, I think, 2 more. 2 more
Right.
1v1
But if she's
wins.
someone else or an Earth Damar instead of Yumu, does it count?
I'd say it would. There were Yeah, I'd say it would. If it's still her.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
then-
yeah.
Okay, then that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
In fact, that helps the case.
Yeah.
Oh, it
yeah.
definitely
Not-
helps the
if
case.
not, then it's like, is
Right.
Yumu ever gonna do again?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it's really, really cool.
They're eating cookies. over there.
Oh, we're taking a cookie break?
Not a break, just for having some.
Well, I'm going to take a cookie break. Well, one of you guys, if you guys want to talk about I mean, do you feel similarly? Do you feel like this, to me, like this was a potentially character-saving decision?
Absolutely. I think
Like, I can't understate that. Thank you.
What is no, you're good. What's really fantastic about it too is that
Thank you
it made and like you already could feel the sympathies for Yuga. Like he's in a tough spot here, like balancing save an entire race or save the future. But like it was Yumu who really made me feel more sympathetic towards him. She's
Agreed.
like, I have some kind of obligation to him as his ancestor. I see what it is. I mean, now I've obtained his memories. I see what the vision is like. And this is something I need to see through on his behalf. And you're like, wow. Like, it felt, like, big to me. I'm like, no, that was, like, it was probably the most, like, integrity Yumu has had the entire show, I think. Like, she made this, like, steadfast decision to go against the grain. Something that she probably...
To follow her heart.
Yeah, to follow
Even
her
though
heart.
she felt like...
It's the unpopular choice.
Right. That's so hard to do.
Yeah.
With
and,
peer
like,
pressure and everything, it's so hard to
Yeah.
do.
So I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is... like...
This is more than peer pressure.
Yeah.
This is like
It's like a moral
life and
It's
death.
a moral dilemma, and she's like,
No.
"This is the stance I need to take." I was like, "That was big," and I'm like, "That gave me so many points for you."
I feel like even if you don't agree with it, even if it's like, how are you going to turn? Yeah, I feel like you got to respect her for following her heart.
Yeah.
You know, and that is something that I haven't seen from her much of in the show, and what a great moment it was for her. I mean, what did you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I do agree it was character saving, at least from the regard that we hold her in, right? Like, she wouldn't have been a terrible character, but she's the main girl lead. Like, we expect things out of her, especially as she started the show. So this was a big moment. It really did save her a lot. And it did feel natural. Like, it felt normal. It didn't feel like, where the hell did that come from? You know, like, it was like making that connection back to 62 talking about those situations, I thought was perfect. Yeah. And you know what? Yuga needed someone. I mean, he's been here for over 2 years. He's had nothing. He's had no one but freaking Kaizo, right? Like, he needed someone. He told Yugioh just because he wanted to tell someone, because it was like when you have a secret or something, like, I have to tell someone. And I felt bad for him, and I'm glad that she took not pity on him, but sympathy for everything he has sacrificed. He didn't want any of this. And somebody, and it ends up being his family, needs to stand up for him and protect him. I like that. I really love this, and I wonder if she's going to actually win. Now she's going against Udias because it's exactly the same duel. It never ended, but I still think going into season 3, this is monumental. I don't think they're going to be friends, quote unquote, after next episode. I think they're going to be on opposing sides.
Yeah. I agree. And I'll also It kind of stinks a little bit, right? We're over or almost an hour into this episode, and I don't think we've brought up Udias once.
No.
Who? Right? I mean, I will say something positive about Udias, and I think this speaks to his character and his heart. He didn't freak out or get angry at Yumu when she made the decision. I think as a warrior, he understands and he respects it, and that's something that's one of the reasons I thought Udias had a great episode in '99. That moment I thought was really good in the amusement park. His voice actor, I think that's the best job his voice actor's done the entire show. That scene, it was chilling. But that is something that is I would give a lot of compliments to Udias for, and it does stink that we haven't seen him dueling more in the season finale duel. I know he had the wonderful duel against Yugioh to close season 1. I'm happy we're going to see him here in 102. I just hope that next season we get back to a little bit more Udias focus. Because I don't know if you guys kind of feel the same way, but I felt like he didn't feel like the main character all that much. And I'm not, it's not to say that like, oh, he's the main character, he's got to do everything. I'd hate that.
But he kind of got sidelined.
But I feel like he didn't do enough. And it's a character that I like a lot as well. I mean, I've liked him as our main character. There's some main characters where I'm like, yeah, you can stay away for more episodes. But Udias I like.
What character?
Who's that?
Yuya at the end of Arc 5.
I knew you were going to do that.
Towards the end of Arc 5.
I knew you were going to take another shot.
No, I mean, I'm just being honest. I liked Yuya early on. I felt like after, a certain point,
you'd rather watch
it was redundant.
Yeah, you'd rather watch
his teachings. Yeah, and Arc 5 had amazing
entertainment duels.
Arc 5 had incredible side characters as well, but that's not the point. Udias is a protagonist that I like a lot. Hope we see a little bit more from him. And honestly, I think we will if you remove Yumu and move her to a different team. And it's just Udias and Yuhi. I think we'll have to with no Yugioh as well.
Yeah.
Let's see Udias now out of his comfort zone. Those Vulgarians are gone or whatever. I think that's very intriguing. But
I also think that as much as I do want to see more Udias, I think they handled him on the back burner really well because it was for his own good. Like
in this
particular reason,
Agreed.
It was like they didn't want him to expend his energy once they realized what could happen, like that the Vulgarians were going to disappear, like locking him up for basically an episode until Yugioh comes and kicks him out and they duel. And it's like other things where there were, even when he goes to grab the duel disc in the end of 101, they all kind of look at him like, wait, Udias, you shouldn't. Like, you can't. And he just takes it and goes.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't think at all. He just goes right up to it. And both him and Yumu have a mutual understanding. They're both like you said, he's not freaking out over the fact that she switched sides and is defending Yuga. And Yumu's not freaking out that Udias is opposing her in the stool.
Mm-hmm.
They both kind of have the understanding is like, one of us is going out here, like, we're giving it all we got.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's very well said. I don't know if you guys... I mean, we'll talk more about it when this season comes to an end. It's not fair to fully dive into Udias' character.
You could see a wonderful...
Correct.
Of the season.
And I think, I think for all intents and purposes, it should be. Right? Udias and Yumu have never dueled before. right?
Not to my.
No.
I don't-
Like Udias and Yuhi have a little bit more history. They've got that like bro
They have a
friendship.
rapport, yeah.
But Udias and Yumu, like this is a duel that I think kind of went under the radar. As like I think this has potential to be, especially now with Yuumu's conviction of what side she's on.
Weird circumstances though,
Yeah.
because we're down to 200 life points immediately.
True.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
So
But who knows what could happen?
But I think it'll last. I mean, I think it'll last most of the episode.
yeah, what's the one? I mean, obviously you're a player and I'm not.
Yeah.
What's the one card that you can get life points back? It's like emergency provisions or something like that.
Yeah. That I don't. Yeah. That
I was
card.
using 7s.
That
I think
was.
you could just
yeah.
use that.
Could.
Kind of get back to some even
Could.
numbers.
Yeah.
a little
But
bit.
I mean, I think
Charity.
it's very pro-tag-esque to
Pog-
just
Pog
chill
Green.
at that low life
Yeah.
point level, and
still
Yumu
win.
can't finish him off. Yeah.
yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen. But
No, Grace of Charity, draw 3, be at the send 2 to the grave.
I think it's going to be a good duel regardless. But
I think we will see a legend card, though. I think it'll be a legend card in this episode.
yeah, man.
Random thoughts. Not
Nice to see that
not even
maximum.
remotely important, but yeah.
That maximum
the
come back
maximum.
again from that episode. They all went to the dual world.
Also, Yumu and Udias did duel. Yumu
Yeah,
got
doesn't
possessed
count,
by
though.
Kwai duel.
Yeah,
That doesn't
Yes,
count.
yeah.
Doesn't
count.
count.
I honestly forgot about
Doesn't
that.
count.
Totally.
Oh, I
It,
did.
it wasn't really her.
It wasn't a
One of
highlight.
these. One of these.
It wasn't a highlight.
This
During
this
the possession
thi-
happened.
right. This is without possession.
Yes.
This feels like
Well,
it
no,
could
actually,
be good.
you could argue Yuma's possessed by again her own conviction of what she wants.
Yeah, but at least
She-
it's her
she's
own.
yes, it is, but she's on like this is another Yumu. Like it's almost like her instincts have taken over.
She's operating on a different level.
Hey.
Hey,
Um,
I'm
That's
sorry.
not a bad thing.
I'm sorry, Yumu. I was not familiar
Jesus
with your
Christ,
game.
that's
Yeah.
Jason Bourne.
Jason.
I want to
Bourne.
bring up something because you brought up
Right.
Yumu and the dual world.
Yes.
And, like that's why we have Yuhi's maximum there. She said something very interesting that I didn't fully understand, where she says, "My Otis."
So I think she was.
I
I said this as like after the watch along, and or from Entame subs confirmed that yes, that is what I believe she meant as well. She was gonna say my road, and instead of saying my road, she stopped and said Otis, implying that Otis is her road, that's her future, and that's the path she needs to take. Yeah.
In regards to that, I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting. But yeah, I know my Otis. It almost sounds like she was like in love with him or something, just
My
based on the way
Otis.
that it was
Yeah.
said. But yeah, I think it was just like instead of saying road,
My
Otis. That's my road. Yeah, that's my journey forward.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Honestly,
Go forward.
the two of them talking about being Otis makes me very convinced that neither of them are Otis. I feel like
sure.
I feel like it's just another
Otis-
curveball that the studio's
Otis.
throwing at us. Yeah.
Otis is Otis.
Yeah.
Otis.
Otis,
that's-
I see. I believe Otis is going to unmask.
Yeah,
at some
but
point.
Otis is not any. Otis is Otis.
Yeah,
It's Manabu.
he unmasks and he said Okaiba, dude. The
Stop.
world would lose it.
It's that.
No.
It's that.
Time would stop.
It's the
You're
Pokemon
crazy.
meme. Oh, it'll be like, who's that Pokemon? It's Otis.
Let me say this as well. In regards to somebody pointed this out in the comments section in regards to Duel Links. Quaiduel was explaining. This is in the beginning of episode 100. He's explaining how like everybody's minds are linked by cards. Remember he was talking about that.
Yeah.
He basically was describing exactly what Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. And keep in mind in the Duel Links.
Huge crossover movie.
Well, keep in mind in the Duel Links mobile app, the last story event we got, which was Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains a couple of months ago, they get to the middle of the Vrains of Duel Links, and they see all the other protagonists. That's canon in the story of Duel Links, including Yuga, and then they have to leave.
I mean,
You know when I think we might get answers to that?
When?
In 268 games,
Well done.
23.
Well done.
Come on!
Woo! Come on!
Duel Links anime?
Oh my God, Duel Links.
I mean, because there's nothing I trust more than a mobile app game story.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is canon,
It's canon.
And it is confirmed. You know, it is confirmed to be the future of Vrains past 120.
Right, but
it's interesting.
regardless of whatever it is, it's lower. It's lower than the anime.
It is,
It doesn't
but-
matter. It's like when Marvel dealt with TV shows; they don't impact the movies. Nobody cares. They're just there
Kingdom
for
Hearts
extra
did it,
stuff.
and it was canon.
So that's how I.
What
view it
about
as,
She-Hulk?
Exactly. My point exactly.
Huh.
So
Huh.
it's there. It's a
Huh.
fun story. Maybe they can make a movie off the. It has no regard on the main anime. None.
Well, some people would say this isn't even the main anime. Some people would say the main anime ended after Vrains.
Well,
I
I
would
would be one of those people.
They just didn't announce the main anime yet.
That's right. That is what somebody said when Sevens got announced. I remember that. Oh, I think this is a side anime.
Yeah.
No.
Well, this is the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the video game.
Right. This is the video game.
Yeah.
Now it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. Wow.
Fuck. Yeah, my reaction. I mean,
And then
listen.
Listen in for me.
Walks off the screen, and I'm just like, all right, so.
Yeah. Good times.
He was stressing.
Yeah, I was dejected. But man,
Hey, we turned around for us.
did turn it around. I have a question for the four of you. This is a hard question for us to answer because we all watched Sevens. We all enjoyed Sevens for the most part.
Yeah, I'd say.
I'm ready.
If you did not like Sevens or did not watch Sevens, are you potentially disenchanted with Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush? Because I have seen some people that don't like Sevens at all and have been very negative on what's going on in Go Rush. And I always try to kind of place myself in those shoes. And I think I kind of get it a little bit. Now, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I'm enamored
But you could see
with
the
what's
thought
going
process.
on. But I 100% get it. If you didn't watch Sevens because you weren't interested, if you didn't like Sevens, you were promised this was going to be kind of a new show. I mean, we're getting major tie-ins with Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens.
I'd be confused.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts on
I
it?
would be confused sometimes, but I also have different people fall into different camps here because there are people that do hate watch, and there are people that don't like Sevens,
Correct.
and then by
Proxy.
extension aren't gonna like Go Rush,
Correct.
or like are hate watching Go Rush. They're like, well, this is no better, or this is worse than Sevens. This is, no better than Sevens. But like, so that's obviously like an exception to that. But if someone genuinely didn't like Sevens, like went into it in earnest and like didn't like it, and then tried to watch Go Rush, I couldn't necessarily blame them for not liking Go Rush. Yeah, I agree. I could see the thought process.
Yeah, and then you got someone who starts Go Rush may not like Go Rush because it's almost like it's forcing you. Like honestly, at this point, with all the other Yu-Gi-Oh shows, you realistically don't need to watch the previous one.
Agreed
Right?
fully.
I mean, you could argue Arc 5, yes, because Arc 5 has a lot of those different.
But those
dimensions and stuff
characters are
not the
different,
same.
right?
Agreed.
Same in design.
This
that's
is
it.
the only show where it's literally a high percentage of the show is callback. The main character of the previous show is here. So when we saw Yuga, we had this great reaction. Everyone's probably like, "Who's this guy?"
Right.
So I do think it probably takes away from the value of this show if you have not watched Sevens, right? And you're only just watching Go Rush. You're like, wait, now I have to watch a whole other show to know about this. Which you could counter argument say, oh, but it is different. It's not the same. You don't necessarily need it. But I'd argue
it's coming to a point you do though.
I'd argue you especially these last two episodes. Someone who hasn't watched Sevens probably thought this episode was all right. Like, it was good.
What are they talking about?
We're like, holy, this is massive. This is amazing. We're seeing scenes of Sevens. So again, for people who didn't watch Sevens and just watching Go Rush, I could 100% see them not enjoying Go Rush because of all the callbacks. Because now it's like, now I have to go watch. However many episodes. Sevens was 92, 90. How many episodes? 92 more episodes just to know what's going on in this show, and then we're already 100 episodes in.
I feel like you don't need to watch Sevens to enjoy Go Rush. I feel like watching Sevens and Go Rush, like if you had watched Sevens and enjoyed it and watched Go Rush, it's just like you're getting unlimited dessert after the meal you've already had.
I
because
don't agree.
I think Go
Don't
Rush
agree.
Go Rush on its own up until probably where we are right now. Watching the whole thing, who's this Yuga guy? Like, why is he such a big deal? If you think about it from something that didn't have a show or a movie before it, he's somebody from the future that's related to our characters. I think, let alone without another show, that's a really cool aspect to have in a show. Somebody, Judge, but we can't have the perfect vision of it because we watch Sevens.
I understand what you're saying.
But your understanding of it's just not going to be the same.
No,
it doesn't mean it's going to be
know,
bad.
I know what you're saying, but I just don't agree because the way that people look at Yuga, it's just not gonna have the same effect, and that makes Yuga more lackluster, right? Yuga would be if you don't understand Yuga from Sevens, this guy it's not gonna have the same effect. It's just
I agree.
Not.
It's
won't,
not going to have the same
know?
effect,
So,
but it's a
that's gonna
different
affect your
understanding.
if you don't like Yuga, you're not gonna like a lot of these arcs. He's involved in all the arcs. He's literally involved in almost all the arcs.
Yeah, but he's not the main character of the arcs.
I agree with you.
He's
but
somebody
even
that
then,
came from the future.
Still,
That is from an alternate timeline or the future that's messing with the timeline. like it doesn't have to be. I agree with you
Do
that
you-
it's a
well,
much better show if you watch Sevens.
To use your,
I'll
your-
agree with you
to
on
use
that.
your food analogy, I think it's more like sort of the reverse, where it's like you get a whole meal if you watch the two of them. But if you only watch Go Rush, you're really like you ordered a meal, but they just gave you like the entree and didn't give you your side as well. You're kind of left a
fair.
little
I like that.
hungry.
That's
like,
better.
you feel like
entree?
that something's missing. You're like,
Doesn't
well,
matter with the
I
entree.
paid for the whole meal.
Doesn't matter with the entree.
I paid, it's fine. I paid for the whole meal, but they didn't give me my side.
So like you ordered fries, but they gave you sweet potatoes.
They didn't give me anything really, and I'm like, I'm still hungry, but I paid for this.
Is it on the bill? Oh, it's on the bill.
It's on the
still.
bill. Like
Yeah.
I went to Popeyes last week and I ordered a combo, right?
Right,
I
right.
ordered a
Oh,
combo.
you didn't get your mashed potatoes or
No,
your
I
mac
got
and
the
cheese.
side. It gave me the fries.
Oh, but you didn't get your sandwich or your
They didn't give me the biscuit.
Oh,
the biscuit's supposed
yeah,
to come,
no,
and
if
I
you
was
miss-
pissed.
Yeah,
I liked
I
I,
missed
the,
the
bi-
You wanted to choke?
those biscuits.
Those
are
biscuits
good.
are great.
Those
I don't
biscuits are
care
good.
what
I'm
you
not gonna
say.
say anything
They're
about
delicious.
it. Yeah,
It's
So
like the
it's like that
delivery
to me.
guy showing up at your door without your diet Dr. Kelly.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can't
how am I
bring
supposed to
that.
get my pizza without my drink?
Right.
Exactly like that.
So
Like
they-
no, like Cal, I understand what you're saying.
I think
Yeah.
it's enjoyable, but I think it is marginally better if you watch Sevens.
Yes, I agree.
That's what I
agree
think.
to a point where it's like I think you can really enjoy and get through Go Rush without having watched Sevens until my pivot is when they end up in the future as cats viewing. That scene to me, if you had not watched Sevens, has very little impact.
Well, I think it's if
The
if
time
there's-
spent with Luke, the time in the future. Oh, that's you. Yeah,
well,
it wouldn't do anything for me as a non-Sevens.
but if
viewer.
you didn't
then for
watch
Mandela.
Sevens, if you can try and take it out of your head, wouldn't that just be an episode that is building on this random character from the future that you don't know anything about, and now you're like, all right, we're getting some backstory.
a little, but like we don't get anything explained to us.
I
It's
mean,
just-
it
we're just
shows that he
It's
there.
a
has
cat
like,
world.
it shows one that he has his no
No,
when
they're-
they're in the Sevens world.
Oh,
as
seeing
cats.
Seven's world. But even then, even that whole cat world, that cat world would be just be crazy.
Well, the cat
Crazy.
world
Yeah,
thing
that's
was
its own
crazy
thing.
regardless
But like
of
Yuga
what you're
spending
doing.
time with Luke.
But it's him missing where he was from. That's what that is.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I feel like it would have been without impact.
Pete, what do you-
or much less impact.
I know. Again, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm
It's
saying that
not,
at that point, and then from then on, we're like, oh, we really kind of need some foundational Seven stuff for things to make sense or have an impact.
In the Dr. Diet Kelp hypothetical,
Okay, I
someone
wanna-
mute his
Stop,
mic.
stop,
Someone
stop,
mute his mic.
stop,
Yuga is SpongeBob,
Stop.
the customer is Udias, and the Entame subs team is Squidward, right?
No, none of that. No.
Pete, what do you think? Not on what Dylan said.
Honestly, it's a weird week. I kind of agree with you.
Thank you.
I
That's like
think
the second time recently.
today.
Yeah.
I think 100% it enhances your experience if you watch both. That's
Yeah.
undeniable.
yeah.
But I do think it kind of, if you just watch the show, I think it kind of answers the mystery of being fascinated with Yuga, who's really the only one that is obviously not from the show. You get all the other information and the characters from the show. I'm like, wow, this guy is kind of intriguing. He's like a mystery man, classic. Like he's from the future. He's related to our two of our three main protagonists. Like, what's this guy about?
He's
you know,
kind-
what that scene mean in episode 62? Like, who was that guy that he saw? Like,
Yeah.
like was that someone was his best friend? Was that somebody he had a crush on? Like, you wouldn't
Yeah.
know. Like, it would build to that intrigue.
Of course.
And I don't necessarily think, I think most shows and movies are designed when they're in these cinematic universes that, yes, it is always infinitely better if you watch everything that led up to it.
Yeah.
But they're also designed that if you just watch this as a standalone, we will give you enough information that you can thoroughly enjoy and understand
It's
what
a
is going
different
on.
experience.
Yeah.
That's what
and,
it is.
And so I still think you can have an impactful experience watching the show and have a different perspective of,
Yeah.
hey, all these things don't click for me, but they click for me in other ways in the sense that I like this intrigue, this mystery. It makes me go off into different theories that people that Sevens wouldn't think of because they have all these preconceived ideas of what this character is supposed to be.
And on top of that, doesn't Yuga, if Sevens doesn't exist in this show, just kind of feel like Otis of Sevens in the weirdest of ways?
In some ways, yeah.
He just
He's like
kind of
sort of
shows up,
Yeah.
and it's
Deus
all
Ex
kind of
Machina.
the same thing with solving everything with Rush Duels, now trying to destroy Rush Duels, all kind of like he said, he's becoming Otis. Well, if Sevens didn't exist or you didn't watch Sevens and you're watching this, it's almost kind of similar in how he
It is.
shows up in the show.
Yeah.
Just, it makes
yeah.
it might make him less, but like we liked Sevens, but Otis didn't really do anything. You know?
I think you I think you get enough detail that you need as a Go Rush fan and only a Go Rush fan that you're like, okay, this Otis guy, he basically is this creator, which clearly we don't like that guy.
Yeah,
and
we don't-
like we know Yuga in this universe was like, yeah, like this is my sworn enemy. And
Yeah.
then if you're just a Rush watcher, you're like, we liked Yuga. Is he becoming this guy he hates? Like, I
Yeah.
think there's enough there
Okay.
to work with.
I can see that, I
agree.
guess.
Yeah, it's an interesting
but I
debate.
see both perspectives.
Yeah.
I really do.
I just
can
think
see
it's a
that.
different experience.
Yeah, and I
That's
think,
what it is.
and to that
That's
point,
for
I
sure.
don't think
I think
we
we can all
can
agree on that.
fully understand because
We all watched.
we
Sevens.
can't erase our memories of Seven.
No.
So it's
Yeah, we
hard.
could try
And
to
actually, it'd be
pretend,
fun
but-
to if anyone out there has this exact experience of only watching Go Rush. What is it like for you?
Yeah.
Oh, true. I'm sure there might be, out of all the people viewing right now, there's a possibility that at least one
Yeah,
is
well,
having that
I
experience.
encourage
right
you to
now.
comment, and if that's the case for you, for sure.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Dill?
No, I really don't.
Because you asked the question and you didn't really give any thoughts. So
Well, I wanted to know your thoughts on it. I mean,
purposely asked her to have make me and you have a conversation.
no, I was trying to.
That's what I thought it was 100%.
Last 10 minutes, I've been
immediately.
trying to
That's
figure
what
out
I-
the Dr. Kelp.
You want me to explain?
See,
it
that's
to
my
you?
point. He proved my point.
Well, what? Yeah.
The viewer is the guy who's
Thank
getting the
you
delivery. The
for
writers
the
are
dono.
SpongeBob and Squidward.
Yes.
So, but
It's that simple.
but
So-
SpongeBob and Squidward have different roles in that scene. SpongeBob
No.
is basically gets
No.
spat on. Squidward's the
No.
observer.
No, they're both delivery boys.
No, Squidward's
They
You
show
don't
up.
think he's just coming along for the ride by his own volition?
Squidward observes. I ain't buying slam door.
And then he comes in and
I think we're
says,
gonna play
"It's on the house."
It's on the house.
Well, that was a reference to the the nose.
The nose.
Yeah.
What nose?
There's just so many things that you say sometimes that are just they make no sense.
All right. Well, listen, we'll figure that out.
This
This is the.
Did you say Entame with Squidward
The
because
Entame sub scene
he
was
put the
Squidward.
pie into the guy's face like she did to Dredger?
Well, to all of
that's
us.
good.
Yeah.
It's
We're
all
all
of
getting
us.
pied?
Actually, it was only me and you.
I didn't get
You remember
pied.
that?
No, it was only me and
me.
you.
No,
and
I
you.
also was hit with the
Yeah.
pie.
I
Oh
thought.
wait, P was with a pie.
Yeah.
I was not.
I was
pied.
the one right after she broke your nose. So
you
I
wasn't
was
terrified.
So I was just like, I'm in danger.
Wait, Dylan, did you go first in that? Or
Yeah.
like- then I still wonder.
Well,
why
she
my
kinda-
nose got broken.
Well, she kind of
and yours
missed
didn't?
Dylan's face a little bit. Remember, because it got on all his cards and stuff on the other side.
Oh yeah.
She got him like on the side
Yeah.
and
I think
over
it was
here.
padded
Sorry.
with a little
Sorry,
bit
your
more
finger went in my mouth.
I guess that's what it
Point in
is.
the direction. You were like, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I think these are different instances. I think the one almost hitting the cards was just Dylan only.
Yeah, that-
and
yeah,
I think
it was a separate-
we lost a bet.
Oh,
and
that
I
could
think
be
when
right.
she came
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
we then both
Yeah.
got hit.
He
Yeah.
was an arc or a season finale. You guys were the series finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, when Dredge broke his nose.
That blood is probably still on the carpet down there.
God bless.
Hey, we left our
Um,
mark.
You know what's
some
crazy?
demons
This is the
down there.
highest poll I've ever seen on the channel. 86% thought the episode was great. 11% thought it was good.
Okay.
1 vote for bad and decent each.
That's insane.
80, so 97 to 2%.
167 votes.
Yeah, lot of
1%
votes.
for the milk.
Pretty
Thank
damn
you,
good.
thank you all for voting. Yeah, it was a great episode. I mean, it really was.
Great,
Great two
two
episodes.
episodes.
Correct.
It felt like one. Like for the first time in a while, like
It
you were like,
truly
we're
felt
in
like
it.
one.
Yeah.
Not only just because like we got them both at the same time, even you did the watch along 2 episodes
It
in
just
a row.
didn't skip a beat.
It's just like it started and ended, and it was right there.
Yeah.
Same spot. You're ready to go. You're rolling. I mean, it was great.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I want to thank all you guys for being here. We still got a lot of convo left to happen. I'm going to use the restroom, and then we're going to hit some donations.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
All right, Dill, on your way back, can you grab me a bottle of water?
Me too.
Me too.
Said it like that guy in the song.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, hit
Do you
one.
want me to slide over to the
You're gonna slide
to
right
the,
in.
I'm gonna slide right in. Do you want me to slide into the link still for you?
I'm saying yes. We got to get the podcast going here.
Yes,
let's go.
rolling.
It's nine. It's
Slide
It's
right
9:30. We've barely read any donations. Let's
Uh,
go.
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
long night. Oh,
It's gonna
thank
be
you.
a long.
Thanks,
night.
man. We appreciate you.
All right.
Some great
Your boy
people.
Cal from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything over here taking over the channel. Dill, have a nice day. We got $8.88 from Crystal Colden.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
And Crystal said, that was interesting. We'll question how a coin flip in space can be done. And did they seriously try to hurt my Yuki with a space rock? And that isn't the most important part. This arc might get a better ending than I thought.
It kind of parallels Yuga and friends getting almost
The
hit
moon.
with a space rock.
Yeah, with Otis throwing the moon. And he did throw a moon at the
He did
children,
throw- no,
regardless
yeah,
of
we
what
can-
Dylan
Now
says.
that he's not here,
Yeah,
can
now
all
we
do that.
fully have control of the podcast.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
yeah.
say, yeah, he threw.
He tried to
pieces-
murder those children.
Otis hates children
Right.
confirmed.
100% confirmed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, and,
thank
and you.
you.
that was, I thought, a little funny bit, too, with the coin of face.
Yeah, the coin
Because
flip
it's like,
thing was
oh,
funny.
shit, there's no gravity.
He's like, oh no!
and it still worked in his favor
Yeah.
because he's him.
He is him. He,
him.
you, him.
He should have used our coin.
Also true.
Maybe he'd still be dueling.
Also true.
But thank you, Crystal. We got $2 from Pink Penguin.
Thank you, Pink.
Pink said, this was so amazing. I'm so excited for Yumu. She's one of my favorite Go Rush characters. I thought she was so strong, but she had only cupcake wins and no development. But while this season's been weak for her, these 2 episodes were great for her.
Agreed.
Yeah,
totally
Absolutely.
agree.
Pretty much just hit the nail right on the head in that one.
Make Yumu great again.
Make
That's what I say.
Yumu great
That's what I
again.
You know what? Yeah.
You know what though?
Yeah.
The logic works there because she was great in the beginning. She had a little bit of a lull in the middle, but now she has a chance to be the best.
Say it.
Say what?
I'll say it.
All right, say it.
Say it. Say what you need.
Make her
to
great
say.
again.
Say what you need to say.
Make you look great again.
We got $2 from Dark Emperor J.
Thank you.
Dark.
Dill, after hearing about your cavities, would you rather 1, have a push-up redemption on Twitch and do 5 push-ups when it's redeemed, or 2, make a bet with Dredge involving eating healthy?
Oh,
Did you hear that one,
That's
Dill?
a pretty good one.
That's a good one.
I can read it again for you
I
if
think
you
he
would
needs to
like.
hear that one.
Dark
He's
Emperor,
concerned. He can see his face.
Dark
He's
Emperor
nervous.
J gave you a question.
Would
Give you a
rather?
choice.
What would you rather?
After hearing about your cavities, would you rather 1, have a push-up redemption on Twitch
No way.
and do 5 push-ups when it's
Only
redeemed,
5.
which is not bad, only 5 push-ups,
Continue, man.
Or-
Listen, you wanna listen.
or make a bet with Dredge involving eating healthy?
How high is the channel point redemption for the push-ups?
250.
So
250.
I will
$7.
say,
I would do
I'll say this, Dill. It'll be a 500 or it'll be a 1,000
Make it
redemption,
1,000?
but
Going
but there's a
soft
15-minute cooldown.
No, I'll take the eating healthy challenge.
You
There's
know
a
that means
15-minute
that
cooldown.
means
Honestly, it's
vegetables,
kind
right?
of it's kind of funny,
You don't
right?
have to eat that
Because
like, it's not even.
either way, they're trying to make him healthy, and he's so against exercise that he would eat healthy. But remember, this is a bet with Dredge, so the caveat is this guy right here just murdering you.
Yeah, he would
So,
hurt.
like,
No,
you
I
actually
would
got to
get
stick
hurt.
to it.
I
Yeah.
get to attitude adjust him through something.
You can't be like, yeah, I'm going to eat healthy, yeah, blah, 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 and then not. I would eat healthy. You haven't done that in almost 30 years.
Actually, in 30
Pete,
years.
can
that's
you
a
get me
fact.
a bottle of water?
Pink, Dark Emperor, Crystal, thank you guys so much. Brian Ford, thank you for the $2 donation.
Let's go.
This episode was fantastic. That Yumu turn threw me for a loop. It's also funny how Yuga can't get one solo win in the show. What did I write right here, Cal?
Not only did you say that to me before the show,
What did I write right here?
you wrote
He's not wrong.
YDDs.
Yuga's duel defenders. It's time we stop pretending. The man cannot win a single duel, and I know
Hey.
I know the
You,
what.
hey, know your role and shut your mouth.
I know. I know the YDDs out there like to say he was blindsided, man. He lost all.
He
his
lost.
duels.
He got punched by a robot.
Come to make an announcement.
Are you kidding? He had the duel won. He was going to win. He had Yuhi running.
I don't know.
Oh my! That's
Hey,
what
Yuga.
we're going with.
You know what? We make all these. I'm not going to go down this road. Okay, I'm not going to go down
road?
this
Hey, Yuga's
road.
road.
Hey, that's not your
okay?
road, bro.
But we make all these excuses for all these characters, especially ones that you like, including Otis. You're gonna give Yuga the benefit of the doubt. This man got literally. They knocked him the hell out.
He got assaulted.
Okay,
for sure.
not via the duel, and he still had life points. This man was gonna win. Dude, you don't get to disparage him today. You don't.
The YDDs, Chad. They're out in force.
My God.
Why
You know what?
Pete's on the front line.
I am so glad that you're making Shingo's deck next month. I'm so
man, I
glad
can't wait to
because
watch
you
that in
deserve
action.
that for comments like that.
I know, and that's so messed up because I work hard for
Thank
those
you,
gems.
Maddie. Thank you,
I
Maddie.
work hard for my money.
I've actually already titled it Automatic Loss. That's what I've titled that deck. Also, if Yumu wins this duel, does that count towards my bet? Or since this is still Season 2, does it not count? I think the bet, Brian, was Season 3, so I think it would have to be Season 3. I think What did Brian say that she would beat both Udias and Yuhi in like the first? Well, I mean, I'm fine with it counting. I don't think she's gonna win.
No.
There's the drawing a result. I think is the only way that's not a loss.
Well, they're all going to go into that black hole that just came up.
I don't know if they all will.
Or what's going to come out.
No, they're going in.
Yeah, I think
They're going in.
Yumu to lose
In or out?
and to go into the space time.
Yeah.
She's going to slide right in.
Go around and around and slide right in.
I think it was the season 3 second arc finale, so I think it would count. Yeah, it's before that.
Yeah,
so
I'd
it
say
would.
counts,
If she beats Udias, that would count.
Hey, count it.
Good chance it
I
happens.
won.
Put it on the board.
I'd vote to count it. I'd vote to
Yes.
Rovian Space Poem Fan 420, thank you for the $2 donation.
Nice.
Y'all talking about Yumu and sleeping on our Queen Rovian in episode 100.
No, absolutely not.
She was providing curry for all the side characters like the Lug and Manya,
She was.
and her
Can
burn
we-
on
what-
London was
Her curry
great.
didn't blow up though.
Long live
No.
our space poem spewing curry making queen.
Yeah, I'm with.
I
I'm
100%
I'm with
agree
all
with that.
especially the burn. I was concerned about the contents of the curry. It was green.
For those who haven't eaten curry, curry's not normally
Not
green.
naturally green.
No.
Well, didn't Roman
Actually,
make a blue
not a lot of
curry?
food
She did,
is
and
actually
that
green.
I
And
think
it exploded the building.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
terrifying.
So.
There was probably cleanup crews there for weeks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So like I'm concerned with that. It's stable enough to be eaten, but at what cost? I don't know.
I enjoyed Rovian because she didn't speak in poems. I thought she was. I thought she was
that
good.
green though. Like yes,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I think that helped her a little.
like
bit.
a
But we
naturally
also understand
Thai curry is like a
more-
naturally occurring green. Not
Yeah.
we got
Yeah. I don't know what.
And
that
I'm
is.
trying to look for something like that
Fluorescent
color.
green.
Yeah, like a
Fluorescent green
Yeah,
is a good-
the,
good,
the
I would
color
trust
of glow in the dark oogie
Oh,
boogie.
Okay, so you're telling me if it's that color, you're trusting that? You don't
No,
think that?
no,
You don't
no,
think
he
that's
doesn't.
radioactive?
No, he
That's what
doesn't
I'm saying.
trust
I
it.
don't
Okay.
trust
It
that.
looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it looks like
I walk up
looks
to my
like
curry
Mountain
and it
Dew.
looks like Mountain Dew. We're out. We're done.
Mountain Dew curry.
Yo, I can go for some. I had a Mountain Dew Bob last earlier. It was great.
Or like,
Yeah,
or
I
like
saw
the
that. That's
Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Remember when Katy Perry got slimed?
yeah.
Yeah.
I felt bad for her, honestly.
I think you should pull that up. Let's watch that. real
No.
I
quick.
just had it on the soundboard.
No.
The cannon goes off.
But yeah, other than that, I agree with the burn, and she rallied the people. She was killing
Yeah.
it.
She was a project manager, basically, that got the production outside completed.
Yes.
She made that
Deserves
happen.
a lot of credit.
Yes.
And she.
You're not going to
she-
disparage my characters.
And
too.
she
I'm
got
not
a
saying
wicked burn
anything.
on
Okay.
I haven't
London.
said anything.
And come on,
The burn on London was great.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it felt
And we can all
like
agree on that.
that felt
Oh,
like
yeah.
a sevens thing if you watch it right, because it's like all the times that Roa did shit
Yeah.
to Roman, you're like, ha,
Yeah.
you take it right back.
That's exactly what it felt
Exactly.
like. That was good.
We love to see it.
But yeah, Rovian, good for Rovian.
Crystal Colden, thank you for the $2 donation. Otis failed to launch space rocks at the kids. Clearly, Go Rush is going to the next level. If that barrier didn't save Yuhi, it would have hit his arms first since he held them up. Damaged the dual disc, broke at least one bone per arm. Welcome to my mind right now. Well, there was
I
a good.
won't lie to you.
Good thing
if-
he had that.
if a
He's dead,
asteroid
right?
hits
It
your
would have been a little bit more
arms-
than a broken arm.
He's dead.
I wouldn't argue that he's dead, but one broken bone, he's gonna have like multiple broken bones.
We got to
Like,
calculate
it'd
the
be-
speed of that rock.
Oh yeah, there-
I think
if
he's
we
dead.
got the physics of this, he would.
If I'm
be.
being honest.
If it was real
So
life,
he
he'd
could-
be so dead.
Yeah.
We're talking about the show.
Well, no, because you got to see the speed of it, and your arms would slow. You would be surprised how strong the human bones are. But I would think he'd
In
die.
space?
How strong is the mind?
No, not the mind. I'm not saying he wouldn't die from complications of those injuries, but the injury themselves, I'm not sure.
If it was real life and it was a regular human,
I don't know.
And an
asteroids move
asteroid.
at tens of
Well,
thousands of
We
miles
don't know
an
how
hour.
fast it was going.
You are dead.
We don't know how fast it was going. I have to see the speed.
He
We'll-
would have.
we'll
I'm telling you, it
calculate
ain't
it.
gonna be. It's gonna
Gone.
be going faster than a Formula One race car. You're dead.
If it's going faster than like a car on the highway, do we say it's faster than 70 miles an hour? That's enough to kill a person.
Right.
Are you kidding? That asteroid would have ripped him in half.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I got
If it's
All right,
going
now-
10,000
Okay,
miles an
man.
Now we're
hour,
getting morbid.
I get the math. Come on, give me some math.
just being honest, dude. Something
But
morbid.
it's also
Fact.
yes, a suspension of disbelief because like
Of course.
people can't be out in space.
This man's
without-
wearing a wing in space and no
Yeah.
suit. I'm like,
Yeah,
whatever.
how's he breathing?
Whatever,
Well,
he's
Well,
fine.
That's how he's breathing
Yeah.
is because of the
Right, but they don't even get an aura
No,
that goes
no,
over him. It's just
no,
like,
it's-
whatever.
you
Who
know,
cares? Whatever. He jokes in space. Nobody cares.
Yeah, GG.
Otis, thank you for the $2 donation. You're all theorizing who I am. Cute. But I should tell you now, I am Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh!
That would make
Everything.
sense.
I came up with all the Otis theories because I'm the best character. My boss monster is a Funko Wall Maximum monster.
That would make sense.
Otis, thank you for the donation. That'd be a pretty cool Funko Wall.
No, it would not.
I mean, a pretty cool Maximum. All the Funkos.
It'd be a pretty awful design.
All the
don't know.
Funkos, like, they all merge into one giant Funko.
They form like a humanoid Funko.
No.
That'd be pretty cool.
Funko Shogun.
They'd call him Junko
Summoning
Box.
that.
Oh, Jesus.
You're sick.
I gotta get out of here.
I was tempted to pull in Harpy's Pet Dragon.
No.
Look at the comment from Dak. I just want you to read that.
70 kilometers per second, which is approximately 30,000. Okay, so now that I have the information,
Dead.
yes,
Okay.
they'd be dead.
Ripped
But
in
again,
half.
until I had the information, I wasn't sure.
Human space. That's all you need to think about. You're dead. That's it. You have no shot. You're dead. We are very fragile when it comes to the
In
fabric
space,
of
no
space.
one can hear you scream.
Yes, there is no sound. And that was really morbid. Like, holy shit.
Just go to the next. We have to get off this.
Yuhi, thank you for the $2 donation. Frustrated look points at Yuga. You're Otis. Points at Yumu. You're Otis. I'm Otis. Are there any other Otises I should know about?
That's a SpongeBob one.
It's good. Yeah. Listen, man. Otis is.
I'm Otis.
He was just trying to sell
I'm
his
Otis.
house,
I'm
man.
Otis.
Poor bastard.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Angie, thank you for the very generous $30 donation.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank
Thank you so much, Angie. Bridge, I see your timeline theory. Would be a shame if some studio were to mess it up. Yeah, well, the timeline now is crazy. I mean, it really is.
Cracked, someone said.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
This is gonna need its own video.
It will, and I'll probably do it when it's all said and done. No point to do
guys,
it now.
Long video here, about an hour long.
Oh
We're
my
going to
God.
break down the 7s and Go Rush universe. Hope you all enjoy.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah. The problem is that's a video I can't make until Go Rush ends
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's just too many.
Realistically, potentially until the next show ends.
Well, we don't know. You know,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
they
9.
could be trying to build like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Multiverse here with their Rush shows. We don't know.
I don't know.
You know, so yeah, I don't know how.
I mean, I'm for it.
Me too. Yeah, I don't know what
I'll
they're
let
gonna
'em
do.
cook.
Yeah, let him cook.
Limestone and Angie, very generous donation.
Yes,
thank you so much, Angie.
Thank you,
Once
thank
again,
you.
shout out to Maddie. Thank you as well, my man. Limestone, thank you for the $2 donation. Was not expecting the Rush robot to actually move and punch the ship. We talked a little bit about it. We don't know if the Rush robot has sentience. We don't know if it just was programmed that way. I've got no idea.
It's Rushy Balboa.
That was nice. That was good.
Thank
That was
you.
good.
Was it?
I liked it.
I don't know if it was.
It was something.
It was all right.
It's better than what anybody else.
It's about as bad as it can possibly get.
Wait, Dill, one more time. What did you just play?
It's about as bad as it can possibly get.
Pink Penguin, thank you for the $5 donate or the $2 donation.
Ugh.
Ranking my top 5 girls in Go Rush.
Go Rush or Rush Yu-Gi-Oh?
Go Rush.
Okay, gotcha.
1, I'll do it backwards. 5 Epoch, 4 Asaka, 3 Ron,
Yeah.
2 Rovian, 1 Yumu. Top 3.
Yuna doesn't.
5?
No, dude, you asked me. Epic, not even close. Not even on the list.
Who?
Epoch.
Oh, Epoch, yeah.
It wasn't on that list.
Could've
Realize
left
that?
her.
No, I know Pink has hated Go Ayuna since the start, so I wasn't surprised by that.
No
Top-
surprise there.
Top 3 I actually care about. Asaka I don't hate as much as I used to, and I'm not a fan of Manya or Yuna. Yeah, I mean,
I understand not being a Manya. Trust me, I get
Well,
that.
yeah.
None of us are gonna argue
no,
with the
notice
Manya.
nobody was surprised at that omission.
No, not even. Not even a little.
She could have done her top 20, and if Manya wasn't there, did she forget Manya? You know, nobody's asking.
I hate when you do
It
that.
would have been more like,
voice.
oh yeah.
It's like old man.
That's my like inquisitive
I know.
character.
The inquisitive old man character. Yeah.
Could she have forgotten?
Jeez.
Yeah.
President in 85.
Yeah, Yuna. I mean, Yuna would be at the
Yuna's
top of my
5.
list.
Yuna's top
Very,
5.
very
she's
nice
number
that
1
she,
for
she
me,
got a
but-
couple more scenes again here in these last 2 episodes.
Yeah, I think her character plays an interesting role as well, right? Because she's maybe on Yuga's side. She hasn't really revealed her hand there. I like how Yumu also identified.
And went to her.
Yuna was the one who knows the most about Yuga. Let me go to her and have a conversation
smart.
with her. So that was
Again,
Yumu's killing it.
It's season 1
turned her
Yumu. It's
brain
exactly
back
what
on.
it is. It's
Yeah,
Yumu.
Turn her brain back.
that's what it felt like.
It's been off. Yeah, the power
Literally
button,
what it
Cal.
felt
The power
like.
button's been off.
Literally what it felt like.
This episode, yeah, these last 2 episodes, it was
Yeah.
like, wow, they've remembered how to write her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
All of a
crazy.
sudden.
The light bulb came back
Re-
on.
Ryokan Kogami supporter 420. Thank you for the $2 donation. Man, I've seen the Prison Break episode in Vrains, and damn, those prison guards are simping for Vira. Also, Ryokan is super cool in that episode. He's not just hot, he's also badass, like the building shot and everything, bro. It is one of the great shots of Vrains where they're walking away from the building with the explosions.
So many good shots,
and the security guards are, they're simping for Vira.
Can you blame them?
Listen, if I was there, just saying.
Man.
That's all you need to say.
Oh, I love it. Angie.
Oh, Lord.
Angie, thank you for the $2 donation. Let's have a what-if situation. This is a lot more impactful because this was a split between twins, but would it have a similar impact if it was a singular pro tag?
Wait, I don't understand the question.
I think it would because I'm thinking about the Luke Yuga scene at the end of Sevens.
That versus
I think so, yeah.
I think that's all right. Well, Caliber, what do you think? Caliber's a twin, so that's
yeah. What do you think, Cal? You're the twin.
It's hard because Cal's not a huge fan of his twin, but
That's not true.
No,
We're
really?
just, me and my twin just aren't alike.
They have twin power.
We're very different. We don't have any twin telepathy.
Can I ask you a
anything like
question?
that. What's up?
Would you duel her in space, though?
yes.
Would I duel her
Yes.
in space?
Right.
Hell yeah.
I guess just to go to space.
But, like,
you know?
no, like the fate of everything that's going on is going on.
Well, I think I would win. So then, yeah.
All right. It's bold.
But no, I
I
think it would definitely still be impactful. I just think it would depend on who the other character in the situation is, because if it's like if it instead of the twin, it's like your rival or your best friend in these scenarios, I still think it can make a big impact rather than it being like family.
Yeah, I think it would. I think it would still work, Angie, even if it wasn't twins. If it was a singular pro tag, it would still work because I think about Yuga and Luke at the end of Sevens. I thought that scene was very, very good.
Excellent scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yugioh, Udias, great scene.
Yeah.
Great couple scenes.
Yeah.
Season 1 and this season.
Yeah.
True.
But Angie, thank you so much.
Good question.
Sorry, I'm eating peanut butter.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
read
we
the next
know.
one?
Let me see that.
Chapel of Flatbolt. Thank you for the $2 donation. Thank you for the very generous donation earlier in the Duelist of Roses stream, by the way, as well. Not going to lie, if you're just a Go Rush watcher, I think you would like Yuhi more as a character because you would be more on board with his frustrations with Yuga because you know as much as Yuhi, that being this Yuga has all the answers but never talks to anyone. Yeah, Yuga's communication is terrible. I mean, we've talked about it. I said it in my review. He's a horrible communicator, and like, even though Yuga was great in the episode, and I'm kind of on his side with what's going on because of the dangers of Monster Reborn, he does deserve a bit of blame at the very least for not reaching out to them and saying, "Hey, there's going to be a situation where a car." He's terrible at
I've
it.
defended him on this before. He's a really bad communicator.
Very
He just his brain doesn't work that way. He's just not good at it.
You know what I mean?
Well-
He's always been like that.
Not bad.
Well,
he's kind of under the
He's
mindset.
burdened by genius.
I think he's under this mindset of I know I can fix this myself, or I think I can fix this myself. Like I know how to do it, so I'm not going to get them involved. And then it gets to a point so critical that they have to be involved.
We also can't forget that. I mean, they fooled him, right? Like Asuka fooled him. They built an entire another fake facility so he couldn't figure
and
out.
he was
what
unaware
going
of.
on.
He was unaware of those
So,
plans.
like,
Yeah.
They
Credit to
won,
Asaka.
yeah they one upped him. They did.
Very rare. You can tell how much the situation's been weighing on Yuga. Very rare for him to get one-upped in the smarts department by another person.
Yeah.
That does not I can't think of another time it happened like that. So, credit to Asaka and her team for keeping that under wraps, for predicting that Yuga was
They
going
went
to try to
great
stop
lengths,
it.
Plus, they had all Quaiduel's information.
Yeah, absolutely. But Yuga deserves a little bit of the blame. I mean, he's got to learn how to communicate. He has to. Because if he communicates, we might not be in this situation.
I mean, scientists are notorious for this kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
He's burdened by genius.
No, I get it. I'll be honest. A very good friend of mine, DJ, said he fell asleep during Oppenheimer, so I don't have an interest.
First of all, I have no idea how.
What do you mean?
Dude, you have to be
loud.
He said
Yeah,
it
and
was
also-
very boring.
And also, no, I was locked in the whole thing.
Why did he say it was boring?
Because
DJ has no taste in movies.
Yeah, DJ's
I'll
a very
say it. It's
like
no problem.
it's got to be a simplistic plot going on to really follow along.
Well, Nick T, what do you think about it?
I thought the movie was amazing.
No, about T.
No.
And there's that cackle. There it is.
My point being is that scientists are notoriously bad at communicating
Yes.
with each other. The whole movie's riddled with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are
There's a
like,
reason why
what are they doing?
It's the reason
What
why
guy-
he wasn't promoted for a long, long time.
yeah.
Before
So,
then.
so you're saying like Charlotte's Web would be more of a movie up DJ's alley?
Charlotte's Web.
That might have a I don't know.
I mean, I guess I just don't
I
think.
feel like that might have a little too much depth.
I don't think. Jesus Christ. I don't
There
think.
is a lot of depth in that movie.
I don't
That's
think
what I'm
saying. Well, in the book,
historical
at least.
pieces or things that are nonfiction are really an interest of him.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
kind of clear.
Yeah, because Dune, that's a real story, and he said that was terrible.
No, that's based on a book, but I that's also like in-depth, like layered plot from a book that spans across 2 movies. I just don't think that's really him.
Yeah.
I just don't.
So what's like a movie you think he'd
Stop. Just go to the next one.
I think it's more superhero stuff.
Are we-
and all that kind
Are
of
we
stuff.
glossing over the fact that Dylan said Dune was based off of a real thing when
No,
they're
no,
in
no, Pete's-
outer
No,
space?
No. Pete
I
addressed
corrected
it.
it.
Pete corrected
No,
it.
Dune
I
takes
know,
place in a
but-
desert,
Oh my god!
right?
Just go to the next one. Just go to the next
I
one.
assumed it took place in like a
yeah, Star Wars takes place in a desert in episode
No,
4.
that, but
It's real,
that's
right?
planets. I know that.
Okay,
That's
come
the
on.
same concept.
It's the same thing.
Oh.
George Lucas lifted it from after reading.
George
it.
Lucas
oh.
got his ideas from Dune.
Oh,
Many of them, yeah.
Well, he also took a lot of ideas, which is how you write. It's
Yeah,
definitely
no,
crazy.
and I'm not saying he's.
But
No,
I'm
no,
saying,
what
like,
I'm
from many different things. All the fight scenes are taken from old World War II footage of
Yeah.
fighter pilots fighting each other in the sky. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff.
interesting.
The more you know.
Yeah, we'll do some super chats,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna pick. So
Okay. You want to
here's how the pick'em's working, guys. We are voiding out our pick because the duel was not a draw, it was not a no result, and the duel is just being picked up by Yumu and Udias. So yeah, the picks we all picked Yuga. That is just not. It's null and void. We're not counting it at all.
I was worried we were counting.
It's not a win. It's not a loss. It's nothing. So it's null and void. It's a wash. That happens if a duel continues and somebody else takes over. That was an established rule early on. We are going to be picking, though, Udias Yumu. So stay tuned for our final picks of Season 2. Very, very close race, by the way, in the standings. So big pick coming up.
All right. We got 33 months of Slifer Red membership from Philip Rosewood.
Philip, you are the man. Thank you, Philip.
And he said, "Man, these episodes finally got me reinvested again."
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
you're.
Oh, yeah. Shee.
We're back in the New York groove.
Dude, I mean,
Well said.
Philip, thank you for 33 months. The episodes were remarkable. They were tremendous.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
It was the best episode I've ever seen.
No, it really was. It really was. Philip, thank you, my man.
Cook.
I'm very excited for
Yeah, there's no chance.
very excited for 102 and very, very excited for season 3.
Yeah.
Cannot wait, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited.
Thank you, Philip. We've got $5 from Sean Gilbride.
Thank you, Sean.
Sean.
Appreciate you, my man.
Dylan, tell the crew about my competition from a couple weekends ago, including about the cheerleaders.
Cheers.
Hashtag Special Olympics State Basketball.
Sean had a competition a few weeks ago, and thank you, Sean. I'll try to tell the story the best that I can from my lackluster memory, where he was competing in a basketball tournament. Came in second, I believe, right? Runner-up, silver.
Congrats.
Nice.
And Sean then took some photos with the opposing team's cheerleaders.
That's
Dude,
how you
that's
stick it.
opposing.
I believe it was the opposing team.
Wow.
I believe it was the opposing
That's sending
team.
a message.
Yes.
So
Send it a
the
message.
cheerleaders liked what they saw from the opposition. And
Yeah.
had to take
They
some-
like
But
those
it's like,
b-ball skills.
You're letting the hometown players know. I come over here anytime I want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As the
Wow.
kids call it, that's W-Riz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, I want to say it does take me back a little bit to high school.
Self-burn. There it is.
Hey, lean into it. Hey. Well done. Well done. No, it's not a burn at all. No.
No, but that's awesome, and also congrats on the
Yeah.
silver.
Yeah,
That is
dude.
also very awesome.
Yeah. Congrats, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sean.
And we got $2 from Stinkfly.
Thank you, Stinkfly.
Stinkfly.
What if Yuga wakes up with complete amnesia?
I wish that I could wake up with amnesia.
I could have bet so much money that is exactly what you were going to
That's
do.
why
I knew that's where you were
I
going.
kind of like
Pause.
chuckled.
You pause. You're like,
I
oh, now here it
chuckled
comes.
halfway through it. I'm like, I know what's gonna come.
God
I know what's
almighty.
coming.
I got a really good question about amnesia, though. So. Once we discuss.
Oh, that and yeah. I will say it's
Not
possible.
anesthesia. That's what you thought I was gonna say.
No,
didn't
no, about the song.
The
That's what I
five-star
thought you were
song.
talking about. I'll be honest. Like, I'm very worried for what's going to happen, but I think it's more likely that Yuga goes through the rift. His fate is unknown at the end of the season than him losing his memories. I wouldn't want to see that. Don't do memory wipes.
No more memory wipes.
I mean, you're a big fan of that from Arc 5.
We got the memory wipes with the space time in this show. We got the memory wipes with the final arc of Sevens. No more memory wipes. I'm over it. Yeah, I'm over the memory wipes.
So my question about Amnesia: if you could have Amnesia and rewatch anything for the first time ever again, what would you watch?
Infinity War.
Very good question.
Wow, Infinity War. Okay, that's pretty good.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah,
But Infinity War is an excellent choice.
Infinity War is an incredible.
I was gonna say Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
All right.
I was actually. My initial thought was to say Game of Thrones.
I actually was there too.
But
in
I
the
really
last
don't
one.
want to watch the last season.
Yeah.
What if part of the amnesia we gave you is we said, yeah, it ends after season 6?
I could live with that.
It kind of left that cliffhanger. You're like, oh, okay.
Can it just be like? No, it can't though. It can't
Nah,
end
it
at the
can't.
end of season 6.
Nah, we just say, yeah, it got canceled, unfortunately. That's it. And you kind of make up
That's
the own
very
story.
unsatisfying.
Well, we'll wait for the books to be done.
They should have.
Yeah, well,
that's
that
the
could be 10 years from now, dude.
I would probably go with Breaking Bad as well. I can't think of another show that was so good start to finish for me.
I'm gonna say Succession. I know it's a little bit of
haven't watched
recency.
My parents just finished it.
I'm gonna say it's a little bit of recency bias, but of the past few years, that's been my favorite watch. Like watching that for the first time, wow, it's a really great show.
I've heard
Yeah.
it's really good.
It's really good.
I was in and out when they were watching it, and I was just like, it looks
You
interesting.
gotta sit down with it.
Yeah,
It's
they're into Shameless now,
of
which
course.
I erase all that.
Yeah,
so.
I haven't.
It's funny. I asked this question, but I don't have an answer to it. So
Dredge.
I have too many. I'm between 4 things.
I would also pick Multiverse of Midness if under the one stipulation that I would never watch it or just know that it existed.
What do you mean?
So
Well, that's not what we asked you, though.
Right, that's why it's a different hypothetical.
No, the hypothetical is that he has amnesia, that he forgets it existed and never has to deal
I
with
think
it
also
He doesn't watch it again.
the music scene.
the first Avengers is another good one to watch that for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
nostalgia about them all coming together. I think I'd do that.
Definitely.
Cool, man.
I think I'll say Breaking Bad as well. I think that was
Daredevil's
I'll
another great
go.
one.
I'll go final answer. Attack on Titan.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
okay.
feels right for you.
Yeah, it's honestly I actually had Haikyuu really high because I think especially when I was younger when I watched Haikyuu, I think it would have more of an effect being an athlete and
Well,
it was. It's
Dredge,
very
you
cool.
make me really want to watch that show.
I'm telling you, Cal.
That and
There's
AOT,
some,
honestly.
honestly,
both of
you know
them.
what? I'll recommend Haikyuu first because it's a little easier to watch. It's not super, but just some of the themes in that show, I'll admit I've teared up watching that show a lot. Actually, it's because I can relate to a lot of the stuff, and it's a very cool feeling when a show can do that too. So if I had to recommend you one over the other, I would recommend Haikyuu more. Not to say Attack on Titan is better, but for what you'd want to watch, I'd watch.
And you
Haikyuu.
said that I remind you of Tanaka.
But honestly, you could pull off a Tsukishima when you meet him. He's a blocker. I think you're
so proud of my blocks yesterday, bro.
I probably would. I think once you get to there's an episode for Tsukishima Suki that you're gonna get to, and I think you're gonna relate to it a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, no, Tanaka. You'll see what I mean with Tanaka. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean with Tanaka.
So how about this? If I put you on the spot and I just limited you to Yugioh shows,
Oh, you
which
can't.
one would you want to watch for the first time?
I guess because
again?
that may not be your favorite. That's me the one that you
Which one was the
experience.
biggest experience roller coaster?
I know
where
what I pick.
you were like,
I already know.
you would feel it.
I know what I pick. Instant. It's not my favorite.
Arc 5.
Wow.
Yeah, just because the
It's a
highs
great
were
answer.
so
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
That, that's what
And
you
it
do.
was such
you
a
look like
fun.
You're tearing up.
No, I'm not tearing up. It was such a fun.
Wasabi strikes back.
It was such a fun experience.
Like those
That's
first
actually
100
the one.
episodes, you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
I would rewatch DM. I'm a big nostalgia guy, so the first show. That doesn't mean DM's my favorite, but I'd want to rewatch that show again. Meet Pegasus, Kaiba. Even though some of those arcs that weren't great, Yami Marek. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
It would be.
Cool. Oh, I really do hope I do forget. If I will never forget because I'm going to do those podcasts. Imagine we stopped in the podcast and I forgot about it. We just came back 10 years now and started rewatching. We just
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Man, life must have hit us pretty hard that we forgot.
What is Yugioh?
We just forgot about each other for 10 years and then came back and started doing a podcast together with these
That'd be
random
crazy.
strangers.
Who are you again, Sonny?
Oh my god.
Who are you? What are you doing
In
here?
terms of Manabu, I mean, this guy
both
sucks. Named Nick. That seems interesting.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god.
Next time.
Yep. Nicole,
yeah, it's
Nicole
great.
is
I'll do-
still
I'll
at
do
work.
one.
Just fun fact of the day.
Dude, it's
no.
not. It's 10 o'clock.
I'm aware of what time
No.
it is.
What time did you get to work?
You don't want to know.
Probably 8.
9 o'clock.
Disturbing.
That sounds like public accounting.
She's in private.
or
class.
auditing, I should say.
Yeah, auditing. There you go.
Yeah, I don't like
Um,
that at all.
We got
Very good.
$2.01 Canadian from Pick Rick.
Pick the Rick.
And Pick Rick said, I guess it is true. All roads lead to Otis.
Now, I coined that term. I named one of our episodes that exactly. And yeah, full circle, man. All roads lead to Otis.
That is true.
Very true. Pick, thank you for the super chat.
We got $5 Australian from Electra Kevin.
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
Kevin said, that's totally Yumu on the poster. Do you think Monster Reborn's going to make her become Otis? And that's how she'll be a villain in the next arc or two?
Because Otis is the monster that's reborn.
Ooh, I like that.
Also,
Oh, shit.
Yo,
let him cook.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like, this character, if this is Yumu, Kevin believes it is. There are a lot of people. It's growing in the community that this is Yumu. There are a
started the
lot
charge,
of
I just wanna say
people.
that.
Yeah, that was all you.
He's turned them rabid.
Nixie was the first here to say it. Absolutely.
He leads
No,
the Yua
no.
movement.
no. Ever.
The first ever?
Ever.
Yeah, I agree. He was.
Okay.
It was that night.
I can't
It was
fact
that
check
night.
that.
He,
But maybe.
He
I mean, I
is-
don't know how long the poster's been up prior to
Jump
us
Fest
too.
was revealed Friday night, and then we did it Wednesday, so it's 5 days.
That was probably the
Nick,
probably
Ah,
the
still
thing.
me.
in my eyes, you are the leader of the Yua movement.
Wow.
And that's what it's all about.
dude.
You a movement.
I like
Yeah.
No.
That's what we're calling it.
No,
Yeah,
I
the
like
Yua
that.
movement.
I like
The
that.
you a movement.
No.
He's not going to last long as a
I'll
political
take-
advisor.
I'll take that mantle. Well, him as my advisor?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't agree to that.
You have to.
I'm not
Part of it.
advising anything.
Yeah.
His family's got a lot of money.
For
That's not true.
for legal purposes, he isn't technically advising on anything.
He's the Rogers to your RFK.
No.
That's just shameful.
That's disrespectful
That's
to
your
me.
quarterback.
Correct. I have a cardboard cutout of him
You're-
right upstairs.
Your joke of a quarterback.
Anyway, we're moving on.
You can do the
I'm gonna
next.
do
You
the-
can, you
this
can do
one,
the
that
next
one
couple.
highlighted?
Yeah, no, this one.
What?
I just read that one.
Oh, it's still highlighted for me. I was confused.
I made it clear that my
we got
intention
$5
was to
from Ice
play
Aiden.
and my intention
Ice
was
Thank
to
you,
play
Ice
in your
Aiden.
Jets.
But Kevin, because you didn't really answer Kevin. Something's got to happen to Yumu to make her that character, because that character does look evil. Could it be Monster Reborn, an adverse effect of it? I don't think that's a crazy
I don't
theory.
think it's a crazy theory at
I
all.
don't think it's
a very
crazy.
good thought. Hello, Yugi Bros. I'm glad these two episodes came out together. It made the hype better. Which side do you think is? What side do you think is right?
Yeah, we me and Pete.
I don't think there is a right side. I don't
That's
think
that's
with
fair.
you.
Get off the fence.
the-
No, I genuinely no. I
Look,
don't think.
Boo. Not voting for you, boo.
There can be
We can
two,
coexist.
There can be two right sides to this argument.
This
but
is a
if I had
nonpartisan
to,
issue.
But if I had to pick one, if I'm on the trolley here,
Yeah.
I'm going to the side of Yuga. I mean, he lives in a future that seems to have most of its stuff going pretty well, and the only thing in that future that was causing problems, or that started causing the problems, was Otis. And clearly that's something that has lasted for years.
Oh no, there's no Vulgarians. What will we do? Oh no.
But to play devil's advocate, I get it from Udias' perspective, right? I mean, everybody that he's lived with is dead. And so if he's got any chance to bring them, what would you do for a loved one, right? If you have any chance.
recreate them in a computer because that's basically what they are.
Well, the thing is, if from Udias' perspective, right, he thinks he's doing the right thing. He's trying to bring back his race. There, to him, that is a living group
Right.
of beings. From Pete's point of view, they're not real. They're basically robots, if you want to put it that way, that are created by somebody to go out there and do a job, and when they die, he just rebuilds them and sends them back out.
Yep.
So, from both sides, you can see
I
why
get it.
they would think the way they think. I do think, though, from the perspective of, for Yuga, it's like Yuga's trying to keep the timeline as together, I guess, as he can.
He already destroyed it.
He did already mess it up. But he's dealing with from his, or I'm going to say from Pete's perspective, actual human lives, as opposed to man-made created lives, if you will.
That still have feelings and a sentence.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I am not saying that they're not like
So
that. I would.
Do you advocate the elimination of the Vulgarian
I
race?
never advocate genocide.
Yeah,
no.
so did Robopi.
Oh, there you go.
Not when
No
she,
problem
not when,
eliminating
not,
her.
not when she was transformed back into a cleaning robot. And that being said, that was a top 10 duel for me, and I actually made a video on why that scene was very upsetting. So don't come at me for that. I never
I'm
said
not
anything.
coming at you. I mean,
I
listen.
I never
some
had
of
a-
us have softer hearts.
I never had a
That's
take on
okay.
Robopi that was negative.
Okay.
And what if it's
Where's
like
Robop in your top
10
10
million
rankings?
I what?
Third-
I-
No, it's important. Robopi, is Robop in your top 10 rankings?
well, she should have beaten Soulburner.
She didn't, though.
Yeah,
She did not. You're right.
Yeah.
So she's like 8th. What were you saying, Nick? Saying?
He has
never
no clue.
mind. I'm
We
not,
got
I'm
him
not
on.
doing this. 'Cause I was going to go down a rabbit hole that we have no right going down on this
Oh, my
podcast.
goodness. Oh, well, then, yeah, definitely.
Let's relate it to real life.
It's like, so you're saying...
Oh. Okay.
You know.
But you can look at it that way.
Also,
That's where it
but I
becomes
do wanna,
fascinating.
actually, what I will say though is I want to go on record and say there's no indication of any life lost in the future that we have in Sevens.
You're correct.
So it's not like it's the life of whether which side you're on with that argument. Regardless of that, whether the Vulgarians are real life or not, no, it's not about saving fake lives or saving real lives because no lives were lost.
Correct.
It's
That's
about,
the other way you look at it.
Rush duels in the hands of adults. Grow up.
Yeah, but there's no record of the existence of
I mean, come on.
of the Vulgarians.
Come on.
Wow, okay, Otis.
There's no
Oh,
record of them
God.
existing though. Of UTS of any of it.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, but
there's
does-
no
couldn't-
record of
could-
Vulgarians.
Couldn't that
existing
just mean
either.
That's what I
UTS?
said.
I mean,
Yeah.
couldn't that just mean they never visited Earth, the Vulgarians?
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
But they're on Earth right now.
Yeah, but
Correct, but that's because of Rush Duels, because Yuga went back in the past.
But there was
Originally,
no
they
record
weren't.
In the
of-
past,
So the
they-
timeline's already
But they're
destroyed.
only made because of the creator, which was Otis, who came back.
Correct. But we don't know if their existence negatively impacts the Seven's future. We don't know that. That's the point Nick T's making.
Yeah.
Sure, but
No, but Monster
typically
Reborn
adding in
negatively
an entire
impacts it.
race, just dropping them onto a planet, probably not going to be great. Especially a
like-
superhuman
Never mind.
flying. I know where you're going. Flying with laser eyes. Probably
Also,
not a good idea.
They're nice people.
Some of them.
Udias.
Why Duel just trying to kill the universe?
Oh, no. No.
Also,
This is so silly.
it's Monster Reborn that's the biggest problem, right? We're trying to stop this card from
And we
being
know what that card
activated.
did in 7.
And it was a bad thing for the people in the future. So why would they then recreate it, say 500 years prior, whatever the timeline is, to then activate it because they think it might be able to revive the Vulgarians? But also, what else is it going to do? Because it clearly wasn't a good thing in 7s.
What Yuga's basically doing, he basically slashed 3 tires on a Volkswagen, and he's defending the 4th tire, and he's saying, we can't slash this tire. He's already destroyed the vehicle. Like, there's no reason to save this 4th
What do you
tire.
mean?
No, we
You
can
just get
we can
3
just
tires.
replace
The,
the
ti-
tires.
the timeline is destroyed. That's basically
He's
it.
trying to correct it. It's
He-
like I think it's more
terrible analogy.
a better
That was a great
analogy
analogy.
is there
No, it
are
wasn't.
multiple holes in a boat
You just fix the
and
tires.
it's sinking.
Okay.
And he's
You plug the
constantly
holes.
trying to plug them, but he can't remove the water that's already in it.
But can we rewind to when he actually put the holes in the boat in the first place? Because it was him that did it.
So all right, okay. So he puts the holes in the boat.
Correct.
Now, should he let the boat, sink, or should he try to save it?
I don't know.
What do you mean? No.
What would
Because
I
the
do?
point is, no, it's very.
I would have never put the holes in the boat.
That's but that you.
I'm
Ship's
sorry,
already
I
sinking.
didn't,
Change the
I
past.
didn't realize you were perfect.
Can you
My
change?
fault.
And by the way, no, yeah. Can you change the past?
No, you can't.
You can make. Have you ever made a mistake in your life?
Of course, yes.
Okay, cool.
No.
Not a timeline altering mistake. But,
When you make a mistake, what do you do? What's your first reaction? Honestly,
I either accept it and move on with my life, or I try to fix it if
Okay.
it needs fixing.
try to fix it. So
Well, if it
would
needs
you rather?
fixing.
So Yuga shouldn't fix the problem. He should just walk away.
They don't want to be saved.
But you
Don't
yell,
save
you
her.
yell that he walks away from the problem and doesn't solve the problem.
Well,
No, let me finish because you're trying to cut me off. Did we or did we not weeks, months ago? Oh, you got to show him. You got to show him fix this, and now he's showing him to fix it, and we don't want him to fix it. Yes or no? Answer the question. Yes or no?
But who
From
says
his
it?
perspective,
who's-
yes or no? Is he trying to fix it?
From his perspective, yes.
Allegedly.
we were all mad that he was disappeared. Correct? Am I correct?
Yeah,
That I'm not- I'm right,
I don't
right?
agree with the
He's
line of
just playing the
questioning
Otis
because it's the definition of what the problem is. Is the problem a fake problem about adults having cards, or is it a problem about an entire race being gone?
Hey,
What
I
is
didn't.
the problem?
I don't know.
that's
They're
the
both
issue.
kind of problems. They're both kind of problems. I'm being honest.
I
with
think
you.
it's
They're
not
both
as-
problems.
I don't think it's
They're
as
both
simplistic
problems.
as just adults having cards. I think it's the idea of what that represents, given also what Monster Reborn did, and that the whole timeline is screwed.
The Monster
I love
Reborn
it.
thing, I will concede.
I love it. Adults having cards.
I'm sorry. I guess what do your kids play with so they can't have cards? It's like grow up, do something else. You dumb kids.
These are mine now. Maybe Goha 66 was on the
Oh
song.
God.
They're like, yeah, these are our cards. We're retirees now.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, the boomers.
That's
the boomers.
That was good.
I'm gonna be honest. That took us for a little bit of a whirlwind there. Thank you, Aiden.
Yeah.
Ice.
Controversial.
Thank you, Ice
Holy
Aid.
We got $20 from Colin Cleve.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very generous. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate you.
Colin said, while I am disappointed we couldn't do Yuga versus Udias despite how much they were teasing it,
Same.
the route we took, I will gladly take over it for sure. Also, Dill, surprised you missed Yuga having a 7's dual disc during the reaction.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
there was two sevens
it
on
is
the
old.
list.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. I also missed the mystery girl showing up.
I also missed that. I
Um,
still haven't seen it.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, Colin. And that's the thing. Sometimes when I watch an episode for the first time, I don't catch everything. You know.
In your
That-
defense, I think when you did that reaction, you were crossfaded, weren't you?
Yeah, that's what you told me. You texted me that.
Yeah, I had about a bottle of Scissorp, and then I had a
That
little
will
bit
do
of whiskey, and that got me
That crossfaded
crossfaded.
you?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, the brownie
Yes.
he had that night
Oh,
was
the
specially cooked.
Well, no, see, so
was
Reese
a
said I'm making
Caliber
brownies, and those brownies. Started eating like 3 of them. Didn't even realize there was like 12 milligrams in each one.
Oh, yeah.
It was a Caliber brownie.
Calibrownie.
Caliber would need 20 per
Caliber.
20 per.
Caliber brownie. Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know what Scissorp is, it's cough syrup. It's in Sprite
Jolly
and
Rancher.
a Jolly Rancher. Yeah.
Teach the kids.
We have
Good.
to say
You took cards out
Wait,
of their hands. Let's give them
we,
this.
we,
That's a good idea.
we have to say on this
Let them
podcast
have lean.
we have
Hey, we do not condone anything
we
that
do
you
not
guys do
condone
outside
that.
this podcast.
we have to say on this podcast we do not advise drinking
unless you're the age of
cough
21,
syrup.
or you never drink
that,
cough
can
syrup.
that be a sound alert?
And no, I was not crossfaded, but I was stone cold sober, as I sadly usually am. But
Wait,
no, we
Why is that sad?
well, you know, I'd like to mix it up every now and then.
No, you
know,
don't.
No, you
We
don't.
can start secretly
You
giving it to
absolutely
you if you
don't
prefer.
like to mix it up.
No, I'd like to. It's just not.
Tried.
No, and we've stated this many
It's just
times.
not my personality
You
type.
don't need it because
You already that
you're-
are.
You're high on life, bro.
You're out of your
Oxygen
mind.
gives you that kind of
you
thing.
don't
You know?
need it.
Every day you
Anything
breathe
a
air.
drunk person would do, you would do completely sober.
And I'd enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. That being said, Colin, yes, I did miss it, but really, really cool to see that. 100%. Colin, appreciate you, my man. Very generous, very
Thank you,
generous
Colin.
man. Thank you.
We got 2 separate donations from Loop for 66.66. I believe that's Argentine pesos.
It is.
And
Thank you, Loop.
Loop said, just wanted to say Monster Reborn's Japanese name is Resurrection of the Dead, which is way cooler and more fitting both in
What do you
Duel
got there, Dill?
Monsters and Go Rush.
Yes, agreed.
Loop also
We got
said
Dill.
Sevens' Otis is Yuga from the future, but I think Go Rush will create a new Otis that will be kind of like a Savitar character. Pete knows what I'm talking about.
Pete?
Yes, I've mentioned this before on the podcast.
Yeah.
It was a Flash villain season 3. Spoilers for like 8 years ago. The villain was himself. It was another version from another timeline of himself, and then they fought each other because of different ideals that they had of how the future was supposed to go. So
Flash was good season 1 and 2.
it was three seasons are good, and then we
Flash.
really started going down.
The Flash.
So yes, I know what you're talking about, Loop. It's a good comparison.
Loop.
It's one
Yeah.
I made before.
Loop, thank you so much for the super chats, my friend. I appreciate you.
Loop rocks, dude. We have.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh wait, is that?
Getting late.
Which one did you just read?
I read both.
You're
Yes, we read and spoke on both.
There we go. Beautiful. Glad to hear. We have 13 months of Raw Yellow membership from Max.
Thank you,
Oh,
Max.
yours?
Appreciate
Max.
that, man.
Seven's Otis is/was Yuga. The shadowed figure on the poster is Yumu, who becomes Otis, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I
Let Nick
don't.
T cook.
I don't disagree.
Let Nick T cook.
I mean, I don't disagree. You know, like I had the theory. Let's see how it plays out. You know.
Now you got to come in dressed up as her new version
I
if
would
it's
do that.
confirmed
Dude, that'd be sick.
for the pod.
I would require a lot of work, but I would.
Oh yeah, it would take a lot
Drive
of
out
time.
to Nina and Christina.
Nina and
figure it
Christina
out.
could do it. They're good like
Get
that.
after
yeah.
her one weekend.
Should I
Yeah.
We have this one.
100%.
I would just say contact them now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not even kidding me, seriously.
Yeah, sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I'll come in like a pseudo armor type
Oh
thing.
my
You
God,
know,
that'd be
yeah.
awesome.
I'm showing up in chainmail.
Hell yeah.
It'd be heavy, man.
That'd be really heavy.
We have officially entered the Otis-verse. Very well said, Max.
That's his thing. His wording. is
Thank you,
Otis-verse.
Philip, for the $5 super chat.
okay.
Appreciate you, my man. These episodes were great. I can see why you.
Now you know what it feels like. Not
I
fun.
mean, I camera's doing very low. I could have just talked through that. but-
I was also talking like over here. at the mic, so you
but we
could've
can hear it. That's the problem, even though it's
Being a
not
drama
going to the
queen.
mic.
These episodes were great.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I can see why Yumu isn't on the season 3 poster. It's probably because she might win the duel, but get sucked into the portal and change. I mean, Philip, honestly, even if she doesn't win the duel, she could still very well get sucked into the portal
Oh,
yeah.
and change.
I
So
think-
that's
Or
She's gonna go
she's on the
around and
poster.
around and
She's on the
slide
poster.
right into the portal.
or that's her right there. Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah.
then okay, and then he follows that thought up
Milady.
next with another $5, saying the poster
Milady.
is Yumu after she falls in the portal and goes through an alien-esque transformation. It makes sense in sci-fi stories for this to happen.
just God
True.
armor coming
Yeah.
out of the portal.
Yeah,
No, it can happen.
I think it'd be sick.
I think it would be wonderful. I think it would
Comes
be,
back.
the other thing.
What's up, little brother? We're twins.
These 5 characters, much like the Goa siblings, could be threatening for the first arc of season 3, and then arc 2, Yumu comes back for that arc and is not any of these
Oh,
characters.
she could be gone for a little bit.
Right, she could be gone for an arc and then come back in the second arc. That's another
A
option.
little bit of self-discovery.
Yeah. Well, because like
I'm the head of the U movement.
the benefit of doing that, of keeping Yumu out of it for a little bit, is introduction of new characters. So like that is a route that they can go as well. That I feel like a lot of people now are starting to really buy into this being her on the poster.
go, dude.
Let's freaking go.
And that makes me think it's not.
Yeah. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you, Philip.
Yeah.
We got $5 from Gravity Hero. Grav said, to become Otis, you need his record. Also, am I the only one who thinks that the new characters look like Baryons or Astrals?
Yeah, I haven't used that term, gravity, and thank you so much. That is a Zexel thing. Nobody else at this table has gotten to that point in Zexel. Yeah, 100%. These alien-looking ethereal creatures, and they could be different versions of themselves, which was a thing, obviously, with the Baryons, characters that had like a Baryon form and a regular form. So, could that be Yugioh? Could that be Dinois? Could the leader be Yumu somehow? I don't know. It's definitely possible. But Baryon vibes, transformation of characters, totally can see that. 100%.
That's sick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that parallel happening.
And Gravity, you do need someone with the record. That's why it would make sense for Yuga, who, again, has not won a duel in this show. But I still think that Otis really did lead a lot of the duels in Sevens and wasn't actually trying until that very last one. And you could argue if his plan, which I believe it was to get into the Go Rush timeline,
And he
then
won.
all 9 duels he faced off and he had to lose intentionally.
But then
Yeah, I
my
mean, that's
question is,
valid.
you've said that the Yuga at the beginning of Sevens was different than how would different Yugas have that same exact plan, but they were different. You said they were different, correct?
Different Yugas.
No, you said no. So I apologize. Different Otises. I
Yes,
apologize.
yes.
So they're different Otises.
Yeah.
But they had the same Otis had that same. The 2 Otises had the same plan.
Well, the first Otis was guiding Yuga to help rush duels.
Okay.
And then when the next Otis comes in and steps into the Sevens world,
Yeah.
Paradoxical.
he's now trying to eliminate rush duels. So actually, you know what? To your point, Dredge, the only time we actually see that other Otis duel could be that final duel, and maybe he was trying. to destroy Rushles.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
know.
Because go at Yuga, you would have
No,
lost
yeah,
him.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. We have $10 from Philip Rosewood.
Thank you, Philip.
you,
Very
Phillip.
generous. Appreciate you, my man. Hope life's been good.
Dill, if Yumu ends up being the season 3 villain, this will be the first time we'll have a main female villain who doesn't show up out of nowhere like the Zexal and Arc 5 manga, which Yugioh really needs.
Yeah, we've never had a main, especially in the anime, we've never had a main girl season villain. We just haven't.
We thought we'd have it with Queen.
Oh,
For a brief moment, we really thought we were.
Yumu, we're calling her the history maker because she is, again, the first girl
I like that.
is in a season-ending duel. So the problem I have, Philip, is for her to be the season 3 main villain, that means she has to be like the final villain of the show. And I have a hard time believing that.
The only way that would be the case is if she was away for a long time.
Yeah, or if she does transform into this person on the poster and like actually becomes like evil.
But you think
So-
she transforms right away and then is a villain for the entire rest of the show?
No.
I feel like
30
that's
episodes.
really hard to do.
I mean, the main villain of season 2, I would say, was Quaiduel.
That's more than 30.
And he didn't debut until 25 episodes in.
but that's what
Definitely.
I'm saying is that she would have to be gone for a while in order for that to happen.
Zuijo was around all of season 1.
Yeah, at least 50, yeah.
But was he the only threat in all of season 1?
I mean, I would. If we're talking main villain and you have to pick one, it's obviously Zuijo in season 1, right? I mean, yeah, and then Quaiduel, I'd say, for season 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, if you had to pick one main
You had
threat.
to pick one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
It is interesting.
Thank you, Philip.
But either way, Philip, she's a history maker.
Yes, for sure.
Earth-shaking.
$2 from JC Legendary Duels.
Legendary
JC.
duels.
Oh, you're...
Great episodes, great twist. Can't wait for the finale.
Well, JC, I
Well
know, has
said.
been super high on this arc.
Oh, yeah. As you should be.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, donated. Oh, man, you put me to sleep with that second hand. 3 to 4 weeks ago, donated and said, you know, keep these stakes high. Go Rush has been a pleasure this arc. Nick T, do you want to do the honors? Trying to get an answer from him.
JC, can you commit? Can you RSVP
Oh,
to
yeah.
268 days from now being at Jump Festa?
We need an answer sooner rather than later, JC, so please let us know.
268 days, 22 hours, 38 minutes, and 37 seconds.
Yeah,
There
good job.
probably will be another edition of the Fat Man sub.
Oh,
Yeah.
a third sub.
Well, actually, yeah, because he gifted the subs on Twitch
I know.
at the beginning of this year. So yeah, he's already got it. That Man is already the sponsor of the That Man sub this year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's already
sponsor.
he's already secured it.
That man is the sponsor of the That Man.
The That
sub.
Man sub. We had it. Remember, we had it written out.
Yeah, we had Judai
we had
crossed out.
Jaden crossed out.
It's crazy.
It's horrible.
Disrespectful.
And I had
Yeah.
to eat it, too, because it was an Italian sub.
I ate from the anti-Jaden sub.
I
yes.
felt
I
bad
ate
about
both.
it. I'll
I
tell
ate
you.
both.
I'll tell you. I felt bad.
But the
about
pro
it.
dipped my toes in
the
both.
Pro Yuma sub was good. That was a good
Both
sub.
subs were very good.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
they
both
were.
subs were good.
I didn't feel bad about
Sandwich.
eating either sub.
You know it.
You said you dip your toes in both?
That's getting late.
It is getting late.
Did you say? Never mind.
Yes, exactly what
Yeah,
you
that's
think, and that's why he
exactly
made.
We got $2 Australian from Electra Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin said these episodes were terrific.
I'm sure Rovian would love that pun.
Love
it.
Yes.
She said she was the one that said it.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let Kev cook.
Kevin,
You just hate a powerful woman, don't you?
Oh my god.
are you crazy?
It's crazy, man.
First of all, I like Rovian.
Are you out of your damn mind?
Are you out of your damn mind?
Wait, where is it?
I don't know.
This is where DJ would be great.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there, dude.
You'd be asleep
No.
behind the.
Are you out of your damn mind?
Are you stupid?
What's that from?
This is
A fresh one. Hey,
It kind
pal.
of sounds like one of the.
You just blowing
the
from
fish
Stupid Town?
SpongeBob, but he wouldn't say "damn."
Yeah. Like, how many times do we have to teach you this, old man?
Yeah.
Larry the Lobster getting freaking turnt.
How are you, young people?
Oh, hello, young whippersnappers.
Larry the Lobster yelling at crabs because he overcharged him.
Out of your damn mind.
Still no pickle.
I hated that guy. I hate Little
Oh,
Bash.
jeez.
Thank
Thank you, Kev.
Yes, yeah, that was terrific. We have $10 from Philip Rosewood.
Thank you, Philip.
We in the Matrix, where Go Rush is the main anime, not Master Duel, which will always be funny for the people who whine about Rush anime but didn't watch the Master anime, which is like, why WTF? Why you be like this?
Yeah, Philip, it is kind of funny, and there definitely are less eyes on the Rush anime. That's just the truth. Accessibility is a big thing, right? With Vrains, we were very lucky to have legalized subs, which was very good on Crunchyroll. But the other big thing, Philip, and I'll be totally honest with you, there are a good amount of people that only kept up with the weekly Master Duel anime, not for the characters, not for the story, solely for the cards. Solely for the card reveals, solely for the card game, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying that's a negative or anything. Those people either, one, don't play Rush because they don't care about Rush. Two, don't play Rush because it's not available to play outside of the OCG countries. So because of that, you lost, I think, a big group of people. That was bigger than a lot of people wanted to admit, that group of people that only watched the shows for the card reveals. That was a primary reason, and I think that was a big reason why a good amount of people did stop, watching.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good point. Very
That's a
good
great
point.
point.
Though. That's a very good point. We have 50.
But thank you, Philip.
Yes, thank you. 50,000 IDR, which I think is Indonesian rupiah.
Yep.
Thank you, ZX. I
From
appreciate
ZX,
you.
yes, thank you. He said, we expected Udias versus Yuga, but I don't think anyone expected Udias versus Yumu at all.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I definitely did not. Listen, I said from the very beginning of this arc, and I was wrong. Udias Yuga, I was confident on it. We all had our predictions. Actually, most of you guys did not agree with me. You said Udias Yuhi. We ended up getting one that nobody picked.
predicted
And it's
that.
because Yumu had such a lackluster
She was irrelevant.
season that it's like, oh, she's not going to be in the season
She's not gonna
finale
make an
duel.
impact.
You couldn't even say she was a dark horse. Like, she wasn't even in
No,
the race.
no, I didn't even consider it a
They
possibility.
didn't put betting odds out
So-
for her because there was no chance.
And they did it in a very realistic, compelling way as well. So
Agreed.
huge kudos
Yeah,
to
just took up
the
the-
writing for that. Yeah, that was really well done. But yeah, ZX, very well said. I don't think anybody expected Udias Yumu.
Not at all.
Nobody
Yeah,
did.
you got it, bro.
Thank you, ZX. We got $5 from Gravity Hero.
Thank you, Grav.
Also, Dylan says that they used to call him the Big D in high school. Is that true?
Who wants to answer?
I'll answer it.
Okay,
I'll answer it.
If you lie, I'm gonna call
So,
you out.
there's two answers to this question, and both of them are no.
Okay, good.
No, just simply nobody called him the Big D, and
you don't have to say the second part.
no, the second part was going to be it's just Dylan lying about something else, making up a story about us calling him.
First of all,
Where'd you think that was going?
I thought it was going a
first
different
of
way.
all, that was a nickname I had because I was very tall and lanky in high
No one
school.
called
No,
No one called
you
you
the Big
Big
D.
D.
Savage.
He didn't.
He
Of course.
definitely didn't.
Definitely didn't.
Of course he did.
That's your go-to, and you're smiling about it.
Because that's what he called me,
Because
man.
you want to be like, hey, refute that. It's like,
Hey,
it
hey,
did-
it's
it
like
did-
we're
it
not-
was
hey,
not
Dill.
the case.
Hey,
Nobody
Dill,
wants
call
to
him up.
No,
I
He's
know.
your friend. He would tell you he said
Well,
it.
I'm not friends with him
Oh,
anymore.
wait. Oh.
But in
Dylan-
high school,
Yeah, the only
we-
friend he's got is Coke.
Dylan used to.
I gotta go home, man.
Dylan
I
used to be
can't.
in a group in high school called the Nerds.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And you were in the Bonfire Boys.
I was also exiled from the
later.
Bonfire Boys as well. So
No.
I don't
Yes,
think you
I
were.
was-
I wasn't.
never
I
was
wasn't
in
in
it.
either.
I
so-
never was in it.
I wasn't in either.
I was never allowed to be in it because I never.
We were the
Bonfire
MBGs.
Boys.
invited.
Right, you mean Mom's Beach Gang.
Yeah.
I don't think I was part of that
they,
either.
they were in a group
We
called
were
the
gonna
Nerds.
make you bumper stickers.
Make me?
No,
I
at the
wasn't
time,
in it.
the people that were part of the Monmouth Beach Gang, we were literally
Yeah,
Dylan
you're
and I were gonna make stickers, and in the middle of the night, drive up to your houses, put them on the car, and leave and see how
Would
long
I
it
have
would
been
take.
falsely included in this again?
You were part of the Monmouth
You were
Beach
part
Gang.
of it. And so was I, but so were you.
But I had only ever hung out in Monmouth Beach once.
That's not true.
It was just the association also of the group.
Oh, okay,
as
well that's fine.
Oh,
I'll take
actually,
that.
I do actually think Pete has been to Monmouth Beach as much as Cal.
You've been more than me, easily.
Gravity Hero, thank you very much.
I gotta go home. I'm debating.
We got $10 from Jack TCG VGC.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you.
Jack said, "Yo guys, what's up on Udias versus Quad Duel? On the Udias-verse Quad Duel, also Pete for Marvel Comics, I've been wanting to know more mutants and X-Men and was wondering if you know any good arcs, because next saga for MCU, I think it's a mutant.
Probably. Ooh, good arcs.
That's a
if you wanted to go short story, you could probably do. I think always a classic is like an Old Man Logan thing. If you want to go longer arcs, I mean, you have your classics, your Age of Apocalypse, your House of M. Those are all easy. I think anything with the original storyline with Onslaught as the villain, pretty good. I'm a big fan of the Space Marvel sagas, so Starjammers, Alex Summers, Havoc, if you follow their adventures, think those are a good time too. Really, any arc of any of the Starjammer stuff is good. And then if you want to get into a big-time saga where mutants are a part of it, but they're not the main story of it, you could always do War of Kings, which has some main mutants in it as well. It's a fantastic story, so off the top of my head.
Thanks for that, Pete. Jack also said MCU says if they do stuff with mutants, they'll do stuff with new mutants, and I don't know much on X-Men except for the old Fox film.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, they did make a new Mutants film that was in development hell, and then I think it came out in like 2018 or something like that. It was pretty intriguing. It's more of a darker story of more of the horror aspects of what it would be like if you woke up tomorrow with these powers you couldn't control, and not like, hey, this is cool, like this is awful. Yeah. I don't know if they'll do that. I think in the sense that I think they're just gonna, with the multiverses, it would just be easier to explain like somehow the worlds merge and the X-Men came over here, or the mutant gene kind of was born and spread, because you can't say that they've been here for 60 years and where the hell have they been?
Yeah, they've just been
so
hiding.
It would be way easier to say now it started, and that's probably what they're going to do.
Yeah, good insight there. All right, well, listen, Jack, thank you so much. Summary for 102's up. Cal, would you like to read it, my man?
Honestly, I would love to read it.
Wow,
Perfect,
that's
dude.
so nice.
do it up.
Episode 102, there is no victor in space. Yumu decides to side with Yuga, who has been fighting by himself in space for the sake of the children in the future. He has been injured, so Yumu takes up his dual disc and faces off against Udias, who has inherited Yuki's will.
Yep.
Does that
Yeah,
say?
like inherited his will, yeah.
Okay. This battle with no winner is about to take a new turn.
I mean, the title, there's no victor in space. This is nothing really new, in my opinion, at least in the summary, except maybe that, like, it's about to take a new turn. I don't know. I don't know if this duel's going to finish.
My immediate thought is that is not going to come to a conclusion. Although I think the meaning behind like there is no victor in space or the battle with no winner is that something bad happens either way.
Yeah, like I think
like no
regardless
matter
of
who wins,
everyone loses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no real winner here because a bad thing is going to happen.
That's exactly
Agreed.
right.
And that's how I take it. But in the event of like is about to take a new turn, to me, a third outcome of, you know, either Reborn is destroyed or Reborn goes through and they win is that they can't hold off this rip in the space-time, and maybe some people get pulled in or everyone gets pulled in, and that causes, you know, this new turn to take place.
Yeah.
And they end up in maybe a different timeline or somewhere else along this timeline even.
Yeah, it's well said. All right, we are going to make our predictions. So we're going to text the group. 3.
Sorry.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, send.
Oh, God. It's okay. I assume it's the same, or that, or it's the psycho pick. Okay,
wanted to do the psycho pick.
You know,
I've done it. It's fun.
yeah. So we all actually picked the same. I thought one or two of us was actually going to go draw no result.
I thought about it.
I changed it.
Honestly, thought one of you guys was gonna do it, so I was like, yeah, let them do it.
I did think about it.
Why do you go Udias though?
I just feel like end of the arc,
Yeah.
end of the season. I just feel like, and he's on the good side. Maybe Yumu is that character and will make her evil. I think he's winning.
Get sucked into space time.
Come on, he's already down to 200 life points, so it's a classic
Classic,
protagonist
he comes
comeback. Like it just feels like he's.
I think the duel is going to be short this episode. I think it's going to be more of the plot and what's happening and the information we're going to get.
Something bad has got to happen. We got to get led into season 3 a little bit too.
Exactly.
We're all picking Udias, but a quick question:
Yeah.
does Yumu get sucked into this vortex?
Yes.
I think some of them do. I think maybe Udias too.
Okay.
I think they all go in.
Okay.
Could mirror Yuga Otis, where one comes out pretty much the same, the other comes out not the same.
Can I say the way I would do it just real quick?
Yeah.
I would have maybe the 3 protagonists get sucked in very much like it was the 2 of them in Yuga last time, and it'd be in a dystopian future that they now have brought back Monster Reborn and what it has done to Yuga's future, the world.
geez.
That's what I would do.
That would
And then
be
they have to
very
get
cool.
back and save it and all this bull crap and stuff like that.
I would
That's
love
how
that.
I would do it.
I would love
like
that.
I do like that a lot,
Yeah.
actually. It would give a really good driving force for all of season 3.
Yeah. Where it's like we're both right, we're both wrong. Like either way, we gotta fix this.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, even the summary is very ominous. Like, it's going to be good, dude.
Yeah,
It's going to be really
and
good.
I think, Pete, to your point, I think all 4 of the people in the duel are going to get sucked in.
Yuga included.
I think Yuga included, and I know we don't want to have Yuga's lingering around, but I think
he's just part of the story.
But I
man.
think him going back to maybe potentially, like you said, his future now, like his time, but with these new implications and what happened, would be a really cool just thing to see him experience, whether it be good or bad. Getting that view of like, oh, this is not what life was like for me before all of this happened.
Right.
Like, because nobody else would really be like, oh, is this different than before? Because how would they know?
Just these old men, Luke. Where were you when we needed you?
Well, like they would need
my
those
God.
eyes, you know. They would
Yeah.
need someone who was there to kind of.
What
show
if
it.
what if they go a different route? They go through this wormhole, and they end up in Den City, Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains.
Oh my God.
Isn't it possible?
Next donation.
Isn't it possible?
It's
Next
possible to
donation.
go anywhere. It technically
Thank
is
you.
possible to go anywhere.
Thank you.
It's
Next-
not going to
next
happen, but it
donation.
would be really
Thank
cool.
you.
Next donation.
Thank
that?
you.
Cash me outside. How about that?
Cyber Defender Natalie, thank you for the $2 donation. Wow, this podcast.
Oh yeah.
Wow, this podcast seems pretty interesting. Also, is Otis a social trend? When I am not chilling and being typecasted as a Vrains fan, I'm looking at different types of computer viruses. Well, I'm still running in an energy drink and the Red 40 candy, bro.
No.
Red 40.
That's not a good thing. The energy drink's fine. You want to stay away from that Red
You had
40.
a lot of Red 40 growing up.
That's why he is the way he is.
Got to stay away from that Red 40. Natalie, thank you so much. And that's all right. It's, Vrains fan. You're a big Vrains fan. It's awesome. The Mystery Girl, thank you for the $2 donation. Hi there. I am Otis.
Oh, well,
That makes sense.
I think it's possible.
I actually,
That
after this
clears a
ends, you've
lot of
shown me
things
the-
up, honestly.
There is more of her, and I'm still a believer in that.
meets the
There is way more to her than meets the
Well,
eye.
we'll
agree.
see. We'll see
Yeah.
if she's on this third timeline we jump into, huh?
If she's in the opening, by the way, we are getting a new opening and ending, thank God. That we imagine is going to start in episode 103. That hasn't been confirmed. If she's in the opening, I'm jumping to the ceiling.
I don't think can you physically do that?
If I got really excited,
No,
I think that's
he
how it
doesn't-
works.
You can.
He doesn't have those kind of hops.
We'll buy a.
Wait, so you think excitement powers physical prowess?
Adrenaline, yeah, of course.
Sure. Adrenaline.
I think you're getting
It's
adrenaline
like-
confused in
It's
this
like
case.
when moms lift cars to save their
Okay,
babies.
yeah. That's. I think we're really just mixing these things up here.
I agree with Pete on this.
All right. Listen, it has been a long one. It has been a super fun one. Next week, we will be right here, same time, breaking down everything from episode 102. I believe Or from Entame Subs may be joining us. I'm actually not positive.
Why don't we just see what happens? We just see
We'll
if
see
she
what
shows
happens.
up on the day of.
Yeah,
Gonna roll the dice.
there's
Yeah.
a seat. She knows there's a seat open, so no
Right.
big deal.
And then
Roll
we
the
do a
dice.
reverse. We get one of those apple pies. She wasn't expecting to get it.
yeah.
we use a softer pie.
I want to I want to thank all of you guys so much for coming. All of you guys so much for showing up, hanging out. It's been an
poll, my
amazing
brother.
time. Huge thank you to Maddie with the very, very generous donation. And as always, huge thank you to the team, Calibro, Nick T, Dredger, and Pete for helping me, taking time out of their busy lives and schedules every Wednesday night to join me to break down Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. All their social medias are linked down below. I'll let them promote anything that they want to promote, starting with Calibro, and we'll go down the list. Please follow him. It's the only thing I'll ask of you. And thank you so much for tuning in.
The poll's still live if you want to end that.
Yeah, I want to end that real quick.
Wow, that's lower than I thought. Hold on, before. Oh, wow. Yeah, this duel brings a lot of uncertainty. I was very surprised that we all picked Udias. 40% Udias, 33 draw no result, 25 Yumu.
Love it.
Oh, 2%
Very-
for the milk.
Very split.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to promote, so I'm just gonna swing this one over to the big Nick T.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Twitch.tv/Drudgeonator, Twitch.tv/Drudgeonator, Twitch.tv/Drudgeonator.
Nice. Very nice. So while I'm currently not active on Twitch, I do plan on changing that in the somewhat near future.
Wait, when? I need to know.
I don't know.
Oh
I don't know.
my
We're gonna figure
Well,
it
there was
out.
a date. I was really excited.
More for like.
I might stream next week, but I didn't want to promote.
I may, as with a few things in my life, may sort of steer it towards like music production side, like do some more music performances than like the
That'd be cool.
quarterly ones that I've been doing. One as a rehearsal and another as for entertainment. So be on the lookout for that. But on that front, I've got a lot of music projects that are really exciting going around. I'm now playing guitar in a band, Fragile Homes, where we're doing a we just did actually a live session in studio locally with a dear friend engineer of mine. I'm really excited about that. So keep your eyes peeled. And then we have a Least of All session in May where you can go to the top link of that link tree there and you could purchase yourself, pre-order a vinyl that we will play one of those songs in that list of your choice and dedicate it to you, and you'll get your own personalized copy of the vinyl if you're into that type of thing. And they also have songs on all streaming platforms. Nameling record later this year. Going to be posting some more promotional content for that soon. I've already been generating some ideas and getting back on social media for that. So be on the lookout. And then the return to Mom Fight later this year. So got a lot of stuff going on. Fragile Homes, Nameling, Mom Fight, all streaming platforms, all the social media platforms. Go check it all out.
I want you to buy.
Link in bio.
Yeah, you know it.
in bio.
Clueless Gamers, YouTube, Twitter, PeopleCarrot21.
That's
You
my
know the
guy
deal.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Follow Pete on YouTube. Follow Dredge on Twitch. Cal on Twitch. Nick T, all of his music stuff. Awesome. Pete, Dredge, Cal, Nick T, as always, thank you guys so much. And to you guys watching at home or listening, thank you so much. This has been Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's episodes 100 and 101, Ancestral Imbalance.
Nice.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun. We'll see you next week with the season finale. And I hope you have an amazing day. Take care,
Good night,
guys.
guys.
Good night.